Hey, good evening, everybody. Sorry, we're a few minutes late. We had an extra guest tonight pop into the green room. It was very unexpected, but we've got an extra person to chat about our heritage recap this evening. So welcome to the show. As everybody knows, it was a very eventful auction and lots of chatter online going on as far as the highs and lows. Not many lows, of course, in this particular auction, record setting for heritage in terms of original comic art sales. But let me bring in our 4 additional panelists to tonight's show. So let's get newcomer Dino in first, and welcome, Dino. Looking forward to having you on this chat tonight.
Good evening.
And let's see who else we got here. We got Mike Burkey, and Nick is not in his chair yet. So look at this, Albert Moy. Oh my goodness!
It's after 9. It's adult hour.
It is. Oh, and there's Nick. Now we got everybody in the party.
All right, if Albert's here, I'm going to go. Have a good night, guys. Everybody hit that thumbs up before I go.
Oh, come on, Nick. You don't have to go. This is going to work out just fine, I think.
All right, 5-star show. You got all 5 of us. That makes it a 5-star show.
That's very, very true. So before we get started, a couple things. I'm going to show off a couple slides that cover the kind of stuff that I always show as far as overall sales.
Look at Albert showing off. If you don't have Windex, if you don't have Windex, you have to have a good backdrop, don't you, Albert?
Albert's on the tilt-a-whirl.
Yes, he is. Albert's on vacation, and he's here with us this evening. He'd rather be hanging out than doing the after parties. So, all right, well, let me get these slides out of the way so we can get this show on the road. Here is the first slide, of course, covers the overall sales for this particular auction. And there you go, 14 million, just a little bit north of that in terms of overall sales for this April signature auction. 956 lots, as we all know, $14,689 per lot. Now, you could look at the January auction and say that the per lot value was much higher then. But if you kick out the one sale for the ZEC page, you would be at around $15,500 per lot. And, they only had 514 lots last auction, 440 less than the one we just saw. I know. And so, that auction had a lot of high caliber items, but this one had quantity and it certainly had quality, and it had a lot of high ticket items.
Quality stuff.
Yep. And so the other slide that is worth noting, and this is kind of a year over year chart that I like to look at. This covers from it's basically a 16-month window. One beginning on the 1/1/2020 and one beginning on January 1st, 2021. And you can see the overall sales from the signature auctions between those two periods. And if you can see 53.6 million in the one that starts in 2020, 75.3 million in the one that starts in 2021. So it's a 50% increase basically in cost per sale against those two periods in a relatively short time. So I think that's holding true. I mean, that's what we're seeing consistently is of course we're seeing a lot of pieces that are going for 200 or 300 times what they were going for 2-3 years ago. But clearly on average we're sitting at about 50% higher than things were selling literally just a year and a half ago.
Now, granted, part of that is an increase in quality of consignments coming to the auction, right? So it's not just comparable.
Definitely, it's a step up in consignments.
Well, I also think there is a step up in consignments, and I'll say something. I think there might have been an abundance of wealth this time. I think this is the first auction in a long time where you actually had a balance of items that fell below what they were worth, items that were right on the nose, and items that exceeded. We've really been living in a time with heritage and a lot of these auctions where the majority of the items are above what you expected. And there were only a few things that fell between the cracks here and there. I do think this auction, Heritage did a great job. They promoted the hell out of it. But I do think more items fell between the cracks. That Albert didn't like what I was saying, so he left.
I think he actually completely checked off his internet because
I think he just got his Heritage bill.
I think he was saying next.
But no, I think what Nick's saying is right. I think one thing, just to set the table for the show, let's just know that we're going to be talking about some things going above expectations, something going cheap, but that's not necessarily praising or insulting, right? Because things could go above expectation. That just means that it's either a singular piece and people overpaid to get to the quality, or they just went beyond comps. But we know the history of the hobby has actually rewarded folks or purchases that were, well above market value. And just because something goes cheap or under the expectations, it could mean it's good value, or it could just mean that there's a softening of demand for that artist or that type of art. So,
or it could just be, it could just be people overspent already, or we're waiting for something else, because that happens all the time. I mean, when we get to the cap 255, I'll be crying the blues.
I know you were going after that one, Nick. You told me, and I was crossing my fingers for you.
It was one of the ones that they stretched out the most. It's like, will you stop having somebody hit it at the 1 second mark?
Well, no, when the auctioneer starts asking for the national anthem, kind of
I did notice
Nick's
that they did seem to extend things a little bit longer than normal. I don't know what Mike or Albert thinks about that, but it felt that way to me, that they were waiting just a little bit longer and they were getting a few bids in late. What's that?
I thought Nick was a punk.
What?
He was a punk.
Oh my goodness! Put that beer down, Albert.
Yeah, too much drinking.
So, Mike, what about you though? I mean, was that true? I mean, for me, it seemed like that certain lots they extended.
Oh no, they kept going and going and going. But you know what? If you're a seller, you want them to do that. So you're getting half the people happy and half the people mad.
No, there were some big items they still moved on quickly from. There was no rhyme or reason about which ones that they I'll just use the word, which ones they milked. They milked some, they didn't milk others, and I think to a degree it was just what they felt should be extended. The auctioneer at that moment.
So it went normal. It really did.
Yeah, to me it was arbitrary. I mean, there was a couple times I thought I had something. I'm going like, okay, I got it. And under a second, a bid. And I'm going like.
That's why I love Sunday. Is like it goes by the clock and that's it.
Yeah, well, Sunday they're not going to milk it, but Thursday.
No, well, I think we're talking, Albert. We're talking mostly Thursday and Friday at this point.
Yeah, Thursday and Friday. You got that weird buffering. I did have buffering. I did have buffering, and I was trying to bid like online, and it just didn't go through. So yeah, I mean, there was buffering. They had like a bad connections for some strange reason, but a lot of people bidding, so it's a lot of traffic.
Yeah, it was a lot of traffic. So let's go to the first item on the Price is Right.
Like fight for your piece, right, Mike?
Yep.
Next.
Right. Well, one of the things that I wanted to talk about before we got started too was just a strategy that seemed to work well, and then one case where it didn't, and that was with the essentially. Well, if we could talk about it as the first item in the lot, but I'll show it in a minute. But that was the Jack Kirby Chickstone Tales of Suspense 59 artworks that they had. They started off with the high ticket item, and then showed the interior pages after that, and so the interior pages seemed to go really fairly decently. But when we look at the Death of Superman pages, they sold the interior pages first and then the trade paperback cover last. And I saw a lot of people who were a little frustrated with the Death of Superman pages being listed before the high ticket item, because so many people wanted, were going to chase after the cover that they didn't know if they should go after the interior pages first. And I think that you can look at the Tales of Suspense sale and say, yeah, it probably would have been better to have the cover for the Death of Supes be first for those people who are also interested in the interior pages, because I think when we get into some of those pages sold fairly, and some of them probably didn't realize as much as they probably should have, only because some of those bidders were waiting to see if they had a crack at the cover. So,
there's a difference between like a trade paperback and the actual cover, or the actual page itself. So.
Well, there is and there isn't, because that trade paperback sold a ton, and I don't want to go into how much, but I think that the cover in the first two pages would have sold more privately than everything that was realized, and this is one of the few exceptions to the rule. So
I thought all those sold super high, but that's just me.
I thought it sold super high myself. So
I did like how the Tales of
guys are both
Suspense, the splash comes and naturally the pages follow. I think there are buyers who are going after the splash and the buyers who are trying to get a page
I
from
think
the
bring
run.
out the best first,
Yes.
because
Yeah.
everybody's going to go nuts for the one they really want, and
But
then
it sets some excitement for the
But they-
others. I think they got a good.
not getting the
lift.
first one, they're going to go crazy for the next item. You know.
I was
also-
talking to another bidder who was like, I'm just waiting for one of these other pages to go something like below 30. It's like, no, they kept creeping up, an average of 38. So it's 630 and then 38.
Mike, did it happen, Mike? Did it go below 30?
None of them.
None of them.
But I know two people who bought most of the, and you guys probably do too. I know two people who bought most of the pages who think they were a really good deal. I think partially the Man of Steel interior pages going first actually took away from the trade paperback cover getting more money, because the perception at that point is if the pages are only worth this, how much is that cover actually worth?
It's a trade paper cover. It's not the actual cover.
Right, but the actual cover for Superman 75 is just the flag of the uniform. So you could argue that this one has a better image.
The cover, right? I mean, it's not like the trade paperback.
That's right.
Well,
No, but
it's back to the memorable image of it, I'd say, Albert.
Well, you know what? At the end of the
All right,
day, at the end of the day, so that we can move through 200 items or 100 items. Next.
All right.
Hey, everything.
All right.
Good. Let's go to the next. Mike got things to do.
Yeah, Mike's busy.
Mike's got to prep for Dueling Dealers tomorrow, I think.
Yeah, we got a good Dueling Dealers tomorrow. Happy day.
What I got?
Yes, we do.
What I got to do? Come on, hurry up.
Yeah, you've got parties to go to, Albert. All right. So just speaking of the that one cap, of course. So went for $630,000, and I know that I think some people thought it was going to maybe go a little bit higher, but for me, it kind of fell about where I was expecting it. But I did talk with a few collectors after the fact that were expecting it to be closer to $7, but still a pretty darn solid price for this piece.
Great price.
Oh, yeah. Well, to me, that's cover quality. It's arguably the greatest cap piece Kirby ever drew. So,
yeah, I was thinking the same thing. It's a splash that deserves cover money.
Yeah,
but then I know how some of the splashes you get like some funky title like Into the Depths of where here's you have Captain America, and of course that image is just stellar.
Yeah, that's cover quality, no doubt.
This only leaves me with one question: what's the cover to Cap 100 worth now?
Oh, the one that was in 10 pieces? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the last two cover sales at Heritage was 288 and 264 and 18 and 19. So this definitely jumped above those. So what a great result.
That's true. Yeah, and kind of speaking in those terms, I'll skip over the Frazetta. I mean, it's a solid price, of course, for Frazetta. I was initially worried it wasn't going to hit the reserve that it was sitting at.
That was one that definitely got stretched out.
It did, but look at it. It sat at 350 or whatever, and still sold for over 500. So that was one that was worthy of stretching it.
Minimum, and I could go in there and try to buy it.
I can't tell if you have a bad connection or you're just drunk.
Oh man!
You want me?
All right, next, everybody, next. So on this one, I actually opened a separate tab because I mean, look at this. This thing sold for $360,000 by Jim Lee, and it's an amazing page. I would agree,
but deserves the price.
It does, but you know what? What I was looking at,
especially if you're repping him, yeah.
That is true. That does add a little excitement to the.
Or if you have other Jim Lee art.
Yeah, I just think it just says is there an artist hotter than Jim Lee right now, and specifically Jim Lee X-Men? I mean, multiple examples just tearing through comps and just setting new records. And this is a perfect page. So, I
mean, look at this thing. This thing sold 16 months ago. It's it's one of his best, most memorable images out there, and it's at 300,000. So that 2/3 splash page beat it out by $60,000.
Talk about that fast.
Well, I can talk about the past. Don't talk about. I'm just saying, what's this cover worth now? If that splash is,
but it cleared.
Or the other one had a big Wolverine,
Well, let's just remember also one lesson is the live bids. Where it sits before live bids doesn't matter because this thing was at 40,000 right before live section. and it went to 60 an hour before, and then it just took off. I mean, it was
Bill, remind me of the issue number for this one.
271, I believe.
271, yes.
Was that part of one of the crossovers? Not Extinction Agenda. Wasn't that part of one of the X-Men crossovers? Not Inferno. Maybe it was Extinction Agenda.
What?
Well,
It wasn't part of one of
I'm
the
not sure.
crossovers.
Let's just remember 271. So 272, that really detailed DPS sold last year for 132, which opened a lot of eyes. Same
That's
Lee Williams. So this thing just clobbered that. And big Wolverine and Psylocke.
This is a great price, I gotta say.
It's a great price, but it is 271. It is Extinction Agenda. This is one of the biggest selling crossovers of all time, and a lot of people fell in love with this crossover.
Nostalgia, yeah.
And it is look, it's 8 issues before Jim relaunched X-Men with a new #1. But again, this was a huge crossover, and a lot of people remember this fondly. So that may have added to it, but it's also a beautiful page. And yeah, you know what? Dollar for dollar, Jim Lee is right now more valuable. His art, let's just say he's in the top 5 upper echelon. We'll say that because there are other artists like Dave Gibbons on, if you saw a Gibbons cover today, I don't know what it would go for, but you still got Key Miller pieces. You still have other pieces, but Jim is definitely upper echelon, top 5. And it's a great page. And it's a great page.
Yeah.
Next.
Yes, I know. So the Richard Corbin piece, I talked a lot about this when I had Joe and Nadia, and I think, for me, it's one of Corbin's probably more memorable images from heavy metal. So 288,000.
I thought it was going.
I was thinking it was too, to be honest with you. I was thinking it was going to be more like 350. Yep. No, I did as well. So then somebody got a deal. This is the first deal, Jason. Jason D'Ambrosio asked us to start off with the deals. Well, here's the first deal. It should have went for around 350 maybe. But classic image from that one. And and this to me was a surprise because not because of Kurtzman, not being worth this kind of money, but it started at such a low price at the beginning of the live bidding. I didn't think it was going to cross the 200,000, and so we end up at 264 on this particular cover. So that was a lot of action on this piece.
Yeah.
The Frontline Combat cover sold in January for $78K. I was thinking this will go twice, but maybe to 140, 130 because there's only a handful of Kurtzman Mads. But wow,
no, I thought it'd go higher, but I didn't win it. I really pushed it up high, but
so this is one you were after, huh, Albert?
But I didn't get it.
Yeah.
I tried hard, but I didn't get it. I tried on this next one too, but I didn't get it either. But I thought it was going to go for 350.
That's Albert and I talked about this. I thought this was going to be 360. I thought it was going to go for 3+ juice. Look, I know it may have the least amount of art, but there's only 4 of these. So
I think it would have done better if there would have been some Dark Knight pages come to market. Over the past 4 years, there haven't been some major ones, at least publicly, but that would have set a floor of, okay, if the pages go for 100, 120, 140, then a cover like this should be 3 times that. So I think that
this
would be...
cover, if you would have did it privately, it would have sold for the 360. If you just gave somebody time and a little, way to pay for it, it would have gotten 360 if the consignor would have did it like privately.
I think so too. I think it would have gotten there or even a little higher.
And they're involved. They just didn't have a chance.
There's just a lot of great stuff in this auction. People got to pick their battles.
That's right.
Yeah,
that is very, very true. So look, that's 2 bargains in the top 4 of our here, so that we've talked about. So
now here was the greatest bargain in the entire auction.
This one wasn't a bargain.
This page went for half price, I think.
Put it in.
Yeah, I think the consigner might be with us this evening.
Horrible. I got a horrible piece. Next piece.
Yeah, this one went for about half price, I think. We were expecting it to go for 300 to 400.
Oh, totally.
Okay.
Please, next.
If you would have had it signed by Johnny Carson, maybe.
Right.
Or Ed
Matter of
McMahon.
fact, you needed him to sign
been better.
right at the crotch, like Stan Lee.
I didn't even realize till after the auction that the Kingpin only appears on 4 pages in that book. I didn't even realize.
And here he's only in one
Oh,
panel,
you
and he's
But it's
facing the
his
other
first-
way. So
But it's
You
his
didn't
first panel.
Really? You didn't notice, Mike?
Yeah.
Okay, next.
But anyway, that was a deal. Whoever bought that got a great deal.
Oh yeah, great
Oh,
deal.
yeah.
Great deal of money.
Yeah.
of course, if you want to sell it back to Mike, he'll
He got
pay
a
half
good
of
deal.
it.
That truly was a first. Yeah.
Great deal of money. Yes.
First Kingpin.
Okay, next.
All right.
Next after this. Yes.
Come on. Now we got the What If #1 cover.
Now, if Spider-Man wasn't on this cover, it would have went for about
Oh
50 grand.
Jesus!
All right. That's the only time you're allowed to say that tonight,
So
Mike.
this one was
we got the
available.
drink, right? We got the drink.
This one was owned by Bachara, who
Mike
had it
said
listed.
Spider-Man. Okay.
He had it listed for I
Right.
think 75,000 for years, and
Yeah.
no takers.
Yeah, it was 65 in
65.
2019 San Diego Con.
Right.
But
And now
it,
look at it.
it certainly exceeded expectations. There
So,
for
so
sure.
I think the allure is not only the image, but I think it did introduce a whole genre, the whole what if
Right.
and alternate
Really did.
reality, multiverse.
Started the whole thing. I mean,
Yeah.
it's an important cover, I think. But
I think, and I
it's
think
not John
Dino-
Buscema.
Right. Everybody, they list it as John Buscema. Well, I own this cover. I got it from the original guy for like $2,000 back in the late 90s. And the consensus was it was Wilson inked by Sinnott.
Yes, I owned it too, and I priced it at Wilson Ink by Sinnott.
Right. Right.
And everybody kept saying it's George Perez. I said I don't see Perez, but
Right. A lot of people thought it was Perez. The consensus was to most people that
never, anybody.
Wait. So are you saying that it's signed by Buscema, but it was really Wilson?
the consensus is this is a Wilson Sinnott cover.
Wow.
Yes.
Well,
Well,
who cares? It's what if #1. I think
Yeah, but it is
Right,
what it
that's
is, and it
right.
looks
It is
great.
what it is.
what if #1.
but I think Dino hit the nail on the head that a lot of people that a lot of the juice on this came from the What If TV series. And for people that are coming into the hobby just spending money, this is not a lot of money for them. Am I echoing?
I think it's a lot of money, Nick. I think
That's a lot of money. Went for
Well, you have to also think about
200.
what you can relative with that same amount. What can you buy? So
Right.
That's a lot of money, Nick.
I said it's
a lot of money
a
for me.
lot of money to people coming into the hobby who have a lot of money.
Nick,
Of course, it's a lot of money.
Stop, Nick. Please
Uh,
stop.
And again, people are saying this cover sold low. I thought it sold for twice value, but that's just me.
I think it sold 3 times value.
Exactly.
I think it's sold low. I think it should have been
Well,
over $250,000.
Then Bashar did good, I guess, right? Or not? It's hard to say.
Well, I don't know
But,
who owned this one.
but a very that's true. We don't know if he had it at that time. But
No,
you're
no,
right.
this was
one.
Bogdanov.
We're talking
Yeah,
about
that's right.
Superman, Bill.
Good for him.
yeah, and right, I mentioned this on the Vault show. The highest heritage sale of a Bogdanova cover was that Man of Steel 50 that I showed, and that
Yeah.
was like $5,000 or $6,000. So all this coming to market was the first time people have got to see this Death of Superman art, and
I was gonna say,
obviously
he-
the price showed.
He was a smart guy to hold that stuff 30 years.
Absolutely,
Well,
and he got to
deserves-
benefit
he
from
deserves
it.
every penny he got out of these.
I
Good for
will
him.
say one other thing that I think
You really have
DC
to
has
thing.
DC has shown that they're probably going to be doing a Death of Superman 30th anniversary in November. And if this would have been held back to November, I think it would have went considerably higher.
Right. Let's also remember this was the cover for the catalog, and that's kind of like, it gives it extra publicity. It's kind of like, people see it, they get excited about it, and I think it did allow it to get into the bidding of it.
Yeah.
I agree with Dino.
Next.
Okay, next.
All right. So
Right.
everyone who thought it sold for under.
10 o'clock, right? We're going to finish at 10?
You're done.
You're done anytime you want.
Not the rest of us, just you.
You've got that after party to go to. So we got Jim Lee Scott Williams DPS from 274. This one went for 180,000.
Man, that's
And
the
again,
right price. Oh my
It's
god.
that Jim Lee guy.
Every Jim Lee double page splash should be 100.
Well, anything Jim Lee X-Men is
Well,
super highly
Jim
sought
Lee-
after.
Double page splash got to be 100.
At that price level, you really have to have a dominant image or big Wolverine. my view is, Magneto, a lot of detail on that, but well, I would have at that price expected it to have at least some kind of heavy hitter mutant.
Yeah, no, it was a strong price. But again, it's a once in a lifetime. That is fresh to market. No one has ever
Lee
had
is hot right now. He's
that is fresh to market for sure.
Yeah. It's been in the same collection for about 30 years.
The same collection when it first was drawn.
Keep going.
Man. All right, we're moving right along here tonight. So what do we got? Don Heck, Tales of Suspense, 39. Yeah, first Iron Man. We got this one went for 168.
I thought that was a good price. I thought that was a strong price.
Well, it's the first page ever with Iron Man on it to appear at auction. So,
yep, the one that came in page 3 in January sold for $90K
with no Iron Man.
Yeah.
So.
No, so this sets the bar now.
Yeah, I mean,
they'll probably all come out.
Well, they are going to all come out, but I think that if they put 2 or 3 per auction, they'll do better.
No, they're doing it right.
They're doing. If I was,
I think 1 or 2
one per auction.
1 per auction. That's the right thing to do.
You're going to get the max, I think. Yep.
Right.
Sell the worst first, which is what they did.
And whoever was the underbidder will be the crazy bidder next time, and it'll be a cycle.
Yeah. They're doing it right. Finally.
Well, there's definitely a strategy to listing the auctions and the lots. I mean, I agree. I agree. All right. Well, this one's Mike and I talked about this one after the fact.
Well, you know what? It has Spider-Man on it, so you knew it was going to outperform.
Stop, Mike. You're not allowed to say that again, or Bill's going to.
Okay, you're right. This is drawn by a Ramita, so you know it's going to be costly.
So this went for the highest, I thought, out of all the pieces that went for a lot of money. This went for, obviously the nostalgia is there, but it went for considerably more than I ever thought it would.
Dino, where's your drink?
Oh, here.
Okay, there you go. What the hell is that? All right, smoothie.
Coca-Cola.
No, this was. I mean, this. If this were a Marita Senior, you'd kind of you could justify the price. But Junior, that's tough. But this was gobbled up by a quote big fish in the hobby, and he went after it. He paid a lot for it, but he wanted it bad.
What did it go for? 150?
168.
168.
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously at least two people with a lot of money went for it. And I get it's the first Firestar, but it definitely seems like a very high premium.
Yes, there's a crazy fish that got it. Okay, let's go on next. Oh, the next one got a crazy fish too.
Amazing.
It's again that's I know it was the animated series first Harley image went for 156,000. And the crazy fish got that one as well, just like you said, because it's on CAF. We can talk about it.
Yeah,
it's already there. But I had no
this is an
idea
actual
what this
first appearance, right? This preceded the Batman Adventures 12, so it was the first published image of Harley. And what a great image with Joker and.
Oh, Bill, I have something. If you can go full screen just for 2 seconds.
Oh boy.
I just thought it was cool just on the previous piece. Ramita's Ramita Senior first ever drawing of Firestar.
Oh, please. No.
Isn't that cool? And it's actually published.
Please knock this out.
Yeah. Whoever buys something from Mike on the next Dueling Dealers, he's throwing that in for free.
Junior drew her first appearance. I thought that was pretty cool.
Knock this out. I'm going to talk over him. No.
Don't talking over. He's going to put the art down. The marketing.
It's not that lesser guy, Jim Lee. It's a true champion of comics, John.
Cut the mic.
All right, save that for tomorrow, Mike.
Bill, cut the mic.
Go put it on your whatever that stupid thing is called.
All right,
Mike. Don't you have to go prep for Dueling Dealers?
Yeah. I found another Ramita cover.
Oh,
put it down, Mike.
Stop, Mike.
All right, so next up, let's see, what do we got here? We've got the Avengers 82 cover, went for 156 as well.
That's a great cover.
I think the last Heritage auction with that other Avengers cover is starting to set the price for Buscema 70s Avengers covers.
Yeah. I'll have to admit, so I thought if this were in the range where I could afford it, I would have been. This would have been my grail for this auction. I didn't realize it was going to go this high. I thought Severin. I thought a lot of quality. This may fall on the radar, but you know what? It started climbing, and I love the image. I know they made some alterations. This actually is Avengers Assemble, the cover, so it's a very classic.
The word balloon is missing.
Yeah, it's Avengers Assemble
image,
on it. It would have been a terrific buy, but
So did you win it, Mike?
No.
Ah.
Congratulations!
It's a phenomenal cover. Whoever got it, it's a beauty.
Yeah, I think so too. It's a great cover.
No, I'd own it if anybody wants to buy one for me.
Oh, if somebody wants to put out
double as a bonus.
I know, trust me.
We're still doing this high and to low.
Well, we're gonna jump. Yeah, in about a half hour, I'm actually gonna jump to the pieces around the 30,000. Can you leave? What's that?
I mean, you're gonna go high to low. Is that how you're gonna do it?
Well,
for a half hour.
For 27
for another
minutes.
Yeah,
and then we're gonna jump.
We're gonna jump the middle.
Yep, jump to the middle and go from there. All right.
Tell you what, this next piece was a shocking price.
Yeah,
Brian
this was
Bond.
owned by Jason Kay. He bought it like 4 years ago, I believe, in the mid 40s, and it just what an exceptional example. It didn't have a big ball and it didn't have a big dread, but that detail is pretty incredible.
Stunning piece.
I thought that was definitely a great price realized by Heritage.
Define a great price.
Well, I wasn't expecting it to go anywhere near this price. I mean, I figured it was going to be, I was thinking like 75, 80.
That's about what I thought, 70, 75 range.
Well, the first appearance of Dread, the 5-page story, went for 90,000 2 years ago, and this is, of course, Bolland. It's not as historically significant, but a better artist. So
yeah,
I was thinking around 90.
And look, while McMahon or McCann created Judge Dredd, Bolland is the one most associated.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
That is true. Well,
all right, this one cheap.
This X-Men cover.
Oh yeah,
that one's cheap.
I was thinking,
I was wondering.
You guys know Cockrum is my #1 X-Men artist. Sorry, Albert. Jim Lee's #5 in my book, but I was actually expecting this one to go higher as well.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Bill only ever mentioned
sold.
#1 and say everybody else is in the top 5. This way, you never hurt any feelings.
All right, but yeah.
So 107 sold for 360,000. So I thought this would settle in around 290. I mean 280, 290.
And I said this to Albert. You want to know what the crazy part about why
no Wolverine on it? That's why.
That's not why.
It's not the Wolverine.
It's some people actually said Bob Brown drew the inside, not Cockrum, so this cover's not worth as much.
Well, it was a story that came out of continuity. That's why it was not as memorable.
Nick is right on that. Not because of Wolverine. It's just because it was kind of like a filler story.
It was a filler story, right? Yep.
Thought anything at the cover. I thought the cover was great. But,
yeah.
It
should have went for higher.
The toning didn't help, right?
But I
it's
thought
severely toned.
I thought me and Mike should have bid on this.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there you go. It should have gone higher, and it didn't. And what are you going to do? But that's funny. I wouldn't think that the interior story would have a bearing on the cover it came from. I mean, the idea of looking at the number of Cockrum X-Men covers you could possibly get.
It was just Bob Brown did some fill-in story that no one really cared about. Didn't have anything to do with the continuity of the whole X-Men run.
Sure. Okay.
I think the person who won this was smart.
I thought the cover shouldn't matter.
Yeah, I think the person who won this was smart.
Yeah.
Well, they got a good deal. Another deal was had.
Hit that thumbs up again, especially since Dino's in the house.
That's true. We need more thumbs up, everybody. You can do it.
Ted, I'm sure you believe what I said. Anyway, next one.
Well, he did. Now we've got a Jim Lee Wolverine cover. We know that Jim Lee guy is kind of hot these days, so he's still getting love. 144,000.
He's not a right Chinese, but he's the best ever. He's the best.
Yeah, Japanese actually, but This was his first cover in Wolverine. It sold 31,000 in 2018 by a fellow boardie who I'm sure is happy with a 4 times return in 4 years. That's
I have to tell you, at that price, I was almost going to bid on this
really.
I think it went for the right price.
price.
It's one of the 2 most memorable covers.
I thought so too. I thought this was a very fair price. I was about to bid on this cover. I really thought
It's a great image.
The second time I should go after it, and this time I missed out, but I thought this was a fair price. So you might think, I thought that was a good price.
One of these shows we're going to have to, because think about it, guys. If you look at it and say it's a fair price, but 4 years ago it was a quarter of this price. It's just hard, I mean, we're all hearing it. It's a fair price because we know that's where the market is today. It's just amazing that we're able to talk about it in these terms when, when something like that has appreciated so much. It's just, I hear Albert saying that, and the fact that he would bid on it, and I'm sitting there shaking. I'm not shaking my head to everybody, but I am inside. I'm like, gosh, it just seems so crazy that what we consider fair today was, a quarter of that price.
Oh, absolutely.
4 years ago.
Listen, but the whole world has
4
changed.
years ago.
I know. It's just, but the thing about it, 4 years prior to that, it's not like the piece appreciated 4 times. No, not at all. But the fact that we can, but the thing is that we can look at these pieces and still have as many players going after those pieces.
That's what's incredible.
That's the part that I'm finding incredible, because it's not like I'm not making 4 times what I made 4 years ago. Not
None
many
of us
people
are.
If
If anything, most of us are making less with inflation. But,
exactly.
But at the same time, it was a feeling that this was about $125,000 to $160,000 cover going in.
Yeah, it's easy to see. Every big piece has kind of a range that if you did the option 5 times, it would fall into that range. And sometimes when things are hot, it'll go to the top of the range and even above it. And I think this cleared it. I would think if you kept on doing this, would be around the 120, 140 range, and it just kept going.
I thought it hit. I thought it was good. But anyway, let's go.
I thought the Avengers was on the low end of fair. I thought it would break 6 figures, maybe go to 120, because all you got is the Hulk and Dr. Don Blake and Loki's eyes.
Yeah.
You got Asgard in there, though. Got to get.
The Rainbow Bridge. I forgot all about that. How could I forget the Rainbow Bridge?
Exactly.
The only problem with that Avengers 1 story, it was almost like a Thor story, So
well, how Avengers 1 came together, Albert, right?
Sure.
Marvel had 8 books a month they could put out. Stan created Daredevil for Bill Everett. Bill ran late, and it was falling out of the month. That's why it came out in 1964. So they had to hurry and put together a comic so that they could get their 8th comic out. So Stan and Jack threw together the Avengers. So, it was probably on the fly and done in like a week.
Yeah. It was tough to see where this was going to land. The number 2 page sold last year for 180.
It was a better page.
And that had a battle of Hulk and Thor and Loki, and that had a lot of people on it. So
and again, an embarrassment of riches. A lot of good stuff in this auction to compete against. That's I said, I thought it could go as high as 120, but it does have the advantage of being number 1. We can't lose sight of that. But at the same time, again, it's Hulk jumping, it's Dr. Don Blake, of course, the Rainbow Bridge, and Loki's eyes.
Okay, let's move on.
All right.
10 o'clock. Let's go.
Albert's got a date tonight at 10 o'clock. Yeah, so the Mad cover. I mean, I'm not a Mad aficionado, so I don't know the market really well.
Really high, and I love it. I think it's great, and I lost.
Well, I knew you had to be a player on this one, Albert.
Oh, it's a great piece. I love it.
Next,
but whoever wanted,
give Albert a call when you're ready to sell it.
Yes, please. That's right. Next, please.
All right. Well, I know somebody would like to talk about this one.
I will say this went a little higher than I thought it would.
Yeah, this is one of my
top
5 surprises.
Is crazy.
Yes, the person who bought it was an idiot.
Not an idiot, just crazy. The underbidder was crazy too.
That was the one, unfortunately. I just thought this is the greatest Superman story ever written. I had to buy the splash. So
Wow.
this is one of my
I
favorite.
mean, it's apropos, right? For the man who has everything, Albert.
Yes,
More power to you, buddy.
everything.
That's great.
So,
That's great. I actually bought the second highest Gibbons in the auction, and that was under 20, so much lower.
yeah,
So,
I equate this to like a great Watchmen page. So I wanted this page bad.
No, Albert, it is one of the greatest Superman stories of all time. It is.
Okay. I don't need to hear from you anymore, Nick. Let's go.
Congratulations.
Oh.
That's terrific. Now, Albert, with this in your hand, are you going? Would you go after other pages from the story, or are you one and done with this? Would you go after other pages of this story, or are you one and done with this? I mean, I know you love the story, but
one and done. But I'll put the other people up just to make it fair.
You know what? One and done unless it looks like it's going cheap.
I would never.
Oh man.
Well, that last page with who was sitting on that throne, and no, I would bid very high on that one.
Okay.
All right,
good,
next.
Good. Congratulations.
Okay.
All right.
I want that.
Burn, baby, burn.
Yes, and I think Rob Liefeld showed off that he picked this one up for $96,000. But
Rob.
Yep.
Good price.
I think arguably, arguably everybody's favorite John Byrne X-Men story.
I mean, you know what this means is that the price of an average Byrne X-Men page just keeps going up and up and up, and everything that's great with Wolverine and all the death of Phoenix just means premium above that. So
yes, I love it. Anyway, next.
Yeah. All right. What do we got next here? Is John Byrne again? FF 251 cover went for $96,000.
I like the cover. Yeah,
higher,
I did too.
I actually thought it would go higher.
I thought it'd go over 100.
Yeah,
you have all four characters. You got a memorable storyline, right?
Yeah.
The Negative Zone.
It's a great storyline.
This one was a little soft.
I thought it went soft. I thought it was going to go over 100. I was very surprised it went that cheap.
Now, here's just so I want to clear this out because this is like one of the first shows that we've ever had where we're actually saying things didn't really reach the expectations that we had. Now, again, our expectations, we're trying to hit a moving target because the prices keep going up. Right. But it does make me wonder if the 960 lots and people's thinking about what they might be spending over a 4-day period on all these extra lots might have kind of made some of these not hit the marks that we were expecting.
Absolutely. Without a doubt.
Okay.
I believe so. That's too as well. I think there's so much quality that people had to.
When you have this much product, they should have just combined Platinum Night and Friday together.
Yes.
They should have made that one auction.
I personally know that there were so many items that I probably would have wanted to bid on, but I just had my handful of targets, and you literally had to be disciplined in terms of
way too many. I mean, if they would have just separated.
But I'll say this: please do more next time. Gives us more choices.
Nick,
you think so?
Right. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I agree with you. This is the first time I'm going to agree with you, Nick.
Get to 1,200 lots. We'll take it.
1,500 lots. That's the way to go.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah. But at any rate, so
the exception to the rule. I can't believe what this went
because
for.
No Spider-Man's up.
I can't believe what this went for. The Alan Davis.
Well, this was like one of the pieces that a lot of people were clearly talking about after the auction. I remember Jason D'Ambrosio said everybody who owns a Davis cover, Excalibur cover, should hug them tightly because that's just how it is.
Excalibur 24 sold for $14,000 in March this year.
No, this cover is the best one though.
It is.
Yeah.
It really is.
It is. But Jesus,
cover for all of them. Yeah. I totally agree. Okay, this is good. Next,
we all agree it's the best cover, and we all agree it was a lot.
And you can make an offer of 144 for it if you like.
If you're desperate, yeah.
Yes, Nick, go ahead.
No thanks.
Yeah, that's a little bit out of my price.
I already published John Carter. I can make more covers like that.
Some jerk.
Bill, have you read the trade paperback yet?
I did start reading it. I'm only about a third of the way through.
Really?
But when I'm done, I will give my overall impressions on Excalibur.
Next.
Jerk.
I thought this.
I gotta say one thing about this next cover.
It went for half value.
If Romita would have drawn it, it would have went for more.
Yeah, if Romita drew it, he probably would have been higher.
Yeah, this piece went for about half price. I thought this was the best deal in the auction. After the 50 page, of course.
Actually, I will say that this definitely went less than it should have.
You think so?
Yeah. That Spider-Man, the way he's like that is so powerful. That is such an awesome image. I think you got a good deal, Mike.
Oh, okay.
You got that, Mike? Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, Albert bid me up the last 35 grand on it since he's not here. Oh.
But you got a good deal. That is a fantastic Spider-Man.
I owned the Miller 56 and 60 specs. I never had an ASM once. I said I got to get an ASM.
Stop it. Okay, everyone drink because he keeps saying Spider-Man.
He keeps saying Spider-Man.
Next,
if it wasn't if it was Daredevil, it went for half of that.
Take a hike, Mike.
I don't know about that, Mike.
Take a hike, Mike. Next.
I think it might actually went higher.
I think I'll die with that cover, Mike.
But, nice pickup. So this had a lot of interest, as we know as well. The Sandman 8 page. I mean, this is just absolutely beautiful. But went for $90,000.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a $40,000 cover, and I think page. And I think it started there when it went live.
No, the floor of this would have been 60, 70. I think it had a chance to 100. There's so many of these collectors that are just diehard first appearance and diehard kind of Sandman fans. I mean, you can't get a first 10 issue average page now. Good page is what, 20, 25, Albert?
You still got that number one for $25,000, Albert?
No character, no death on it though. It's just the house.
Oh, death. Sandman.
It's like Mikhail just said, it's got an arch tax on it, but I'm sure whoever got it is
a beautiful page though.
Yeah. It's a gorgeous page.
Yeah,
the artistry is terrific.
Yeah. Yep, and $90,000 is a
strong price.
Strong, fair price in this market. So we want to talk about the peanuts, or just move along to the first page that we can talk about from the Death of Superman.
That went for the right price.
It did.
It went ungodly high.
84.
No, that might have been a $100,000 page, but that went for that they should have started with the cover or that page. They should have went out of order. They really should have went out of order.
Yeah, I looked at all the Doomsday Superman pages in action. This was the best one. I'm not sure whether 84 is the right number. I'm not in that market, but
you're really 34 for this.
84.
84.
You're really into it.
I'm not. This is not my
I'm
time
saying
period.
it went for the right price. I think
thought that it was the right price at 84.
Yeah,
okay.
Maybe 100, but it's in the right area.
Buy for 126 or make an offer.
Next.
Yeah,
good battle.
Voting after sales in the Heritage Auction now. So what do we got here? Graham Nolan, Vengeance of Bane. This is an excellent page, and it went for 84 as well. But not a market I'm on. So fair or not? I mean,
it seemed like this was a $70,000 page, give or take. So it's in the right range.
I think it got a little juice because that top right panel is actually the preview for the book. So arguably, it's one of the earliest published appearances of Bane before the cover, right? So good.
Next,
not a bad one there, and then we get another one right here. But Jim Aparo and Giordano. This one went for, what do we got? 78,000 on this one.
That was strong price, I think.
Yeah,
Page after the breaking of the back. Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't break his back.
This is
after. That's a different piece. That would have been.
This is the page after, right?
Yeah. The breaking of the back I think it's a 2-page spread or a big splash. That's a $250,000 page.
Yeah, it's huge. That's a big one.
But his back is fixed.
It's fixed now, but it wasn't then. And here's that Jim Lee guy again. Like a bad penny, Jim Lee turned up again, and this one was the cover to Batman Black and White.
I remember Black and White. It had like 12 different artists contribute
Yeah.
stories, including Boland and
It should have went for over 200.
Oh boy. We've got horses in the race here, everybody. You know
Yeah.
that.
I'd say that this was a decent price, and I'm scared. You know what? If this was a Hush cover, it would be a lot higher. But Batman Black and White was a mix of different artists, like Dino said, and I think that because it wasn't a pure Jim Lee project, if it was a pure Jim Lee project, this would have went for more. But I thought this was a good price.
Well, so and this isn't something we've really talked about before as well. Is that this idea that the stories have credence over what the covers are going to sell for? It's not just
they endear nostalgia,
right?
And
right.
connectivity.
It's that nostalgic part that's playing a factor. I mean, we talk about that a lot, but I mean, for me, it's in some cases, these covers kind of stand alone. But just from what we're talking about tonight, the stories still have an impact on what we want to pay for a great Jim Lee image. I mean, like you said, if this was a cover to Hush, same image, it would be going for twice as much, if not more.
If not more. Look, here's the thing, and this goes back to the embarrassment of riches. That the X-Men splash and spread, no matter what auction you put it in, those would have performed fantastic like they did. This, maybe if there were less lots, might have done a little bit better, but it's still in the right range for a signature Jim Lee character.
Cannot disagree. All right, next up is another piece by Aparo. So
this was a steal.
Yeah, ultra rare. I mean, this thing never happened. The splash for 433, which isn't as good as this one, went for 18,000 alone.
And this is the origin of the Spectre.
Oh yeah, the story's great too if you read it.
So this was, relatively speaking, I said steal. Relatively speaking, this was a great price.
The guy got it. Yeah.
You know what? They got it at a great price.
I agree.
All right, thank you all.
I think I said to Albert, I think the splash is a $40,000 splash.
Well, thank you all, but
that's good because you can't get $5,000 for the rest of the pages out of the book.
Did you get that, Albert? Albert, you got that.
Stop it, Mike. Stop it.
And I got to get everybody's buy list before these shows start. So I know who's
Albert,
got what.
There's only what 5 or 6 of these stories, and these never come up for us.
There's like 3 known complete stories, and now Albert has one. The rest are broken up.
No, that was awesome.
Good one.
Yeah, no, this is a great pickup, Albert. Congratulations.
Sorry, Mike, no Spider-Man on it.
It's all right. I let you have it.
Next. Vault of Horror was a good price.
Yeah, this is a great work for Johnny Craig. At 78,000.
It's a really good piece.
Keep buying those Johnny Craig Ironmans. That's all I'll say. Eventually, those will lift. No, I'm not kidding.
All right, I'm moving on to next. There, I'm going to keep this rolling. So, John Buscema, Frank Giacoya, Avengers Splash.
That was a pretty strong price, but for a phenomenal splash.
A strong price. Phenomenal splash, though.
Yeah, these Avengers splashes just seem to keep going more expensive. I mean, ever since that rooftop one went for 56,000 4 years ago, it's been climbing.
If I had that on my website for 72,000, CG would make fun of me on that.
Yeah,
we make funny already for your prices. So what's the difference?
If I had that at $72,000 and I put it on my website, or me and Mike put it on the website,
no, we'd get made fun of without question.
Right. Well, you'd be
accused. Agree.
It's true. But that's because
we know history.
Right. But yeah, the thing is, these title pages are really just.
Now we know what the CG really
actually
means, right?
Well, yes. It took you this long. It took you this long to figure out that it's people who never.
Right.
It took you this long to figure out that people who don't spend money are the people complaining.
Mike, me, you, right?
Well, I will say that compared to the cover image, I like the splash image better. So maybe someone likes the issue and they felt more attached to the.
Look, people love Buscema Thor. People love Buscema Avengers. This had so much going for it. It is still a strong price. But in 2 years, people will be like, "That was a good price."
I mean, really, that Nick, really, this one compared to that 84's cover?
I said it's a strong price.
Everything's a strong price.
Not everything. We've been talking about deals tonight, so
Yes,
Right. What's wrong with
the
you?
Spectre was not a strong price.
You're dazed or something?
Next,
he's thinking. He's working. He's working while he's hanging out with us tonight.
Talking to me?
I was talking to you, but you're like in a daze or something.
is there any?
Oh,
Do
no,
you see
I'm
anybody
standing
else?
out for tomorrow's
Do you
show.
see anybody else here?
Oh,
You talking to me?
okay.
Done.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, it's a Spider-Man piece, Mike, by
Oh,
go ahead,
Ron
Mike.
Friends.
Spider-Man.
Believe it or not, I auctioned this piece off. I almost sold this last year to a guy for 15 grand, and he passed. So I put it in the auction. So I'm glad I did.
And you almost
Congratulations.
That was at your price, or was that an offer made to
No,
you?
I told him I'd sell it to him if he came to my house. I go, I'll give you this and the 23 thumbnails and Roger Stern's script and these two pieces. And there was another black Spider-Man piece. I said, you could have them all for 15 grand. He goes, nah, I'll pass. And I sold him the first Miss Marvel drawing for 12 grand instead. So
Nice. Next,
Well,
you did
72
well, Mike.
grand.
You did
no, I
well.
was very happy that it's
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Ramito's happy too. But anyway, let's go.
Next,
Well, it was Ron Friends. I don't know what
Next.
Ramita has to do with
Yeah,
it.
it's friends.
Oh, okay,
252.
Sorry.
Now
next.
again, the greatest character ever in comics. You know, what more
I don't
could
see.
you ask
I
for?
don't
think
see.
this was
I don't see the Flash.
whoever bought this got it for a deal.
Well, it is classic Kane Diacoya Spider-Man 97 page, of course. So I mean,
It is a great page.
that top panel's is superb. So
Yeah, I could sign that one also. I was happy with the result. It did well.
I'm sure you are.
Yeah.
Next,
Well, I had almost all the 3 books. So I figured, they kept begging me for one. I said, okay, I'll give you one.
next.
all right, well, congratulations, Mike.
Good
2
stuff,
sales
Mike.
in a row there.
Yeah.
And here's that Jim Lee Scott Williams pair again, Wildcats X-Men trade paperback cover, and strong price, $72,000. But it's Jim Lee drawn X-Men.
If there was ever a chance something like this would fall on the radar, you'd think Wildcats cover, but no. I mean, with that Wolverine there, 72, it just
It's
continues to
basically
rise.
I can't afford a great X-Men first run page or cover. I should buy this.
Yeah.
Well,
Great.
I
you had a chance, Nick. You had a
I know
chance.
the winner of this one. He was very happy.
He should
Oh,
be.
it's-
It's a beautiful cover.
Yeah.
Yes.
Next,
All right. Next, this was the one that
So you like that one, Bill?
I really like this one, and so yeah, but obviously I could never be a player at $66,000 on this one.
Well,
But
it seems like everything with Doom on it is almost like a Wolverine or something. Doom gets
That's right.
a jump in
yeah,
everything he's
I
in.
thought this would have been about 80,000.
You thought it would go for 80?
Yeah,
I thought it was going to be higher, to be honest. But
The 183 with it.
I know at least 3 people I spoke with that wanted to go after this, but again, they were juggling this through or other pieces.
The 183s with the better
This is-
Doom image sold for 96 last year. This
Oh,
one
did it?
was a great cover, but it was hurt by the fact that you don't get a full Doom, kind of get his mask off, and the Thor is kind of a
Yeah,
phantom
kind of ghost,
Thor.
right.
You're getting Thor and
Cover. It is
Convoy.
cover, but I mean, this is a John Buscema cover.
Yeah, this is a blue chip
Who
piece.
was
no
the
doubt.
inker on this one?
I thought this would go for
This
like
is
Senate.
Senate. This is Senate.
Oh, it is Synod Inks. I wasn't sure.
Yeah, you got the right team, but
Mike.
it
Don't
was-
you think it would have went for 40 or 50?
Yes. If the Doom, for whatever reason, Doom gets a jump in anything he's in.
Yeah,
Doom
but
gets a
40
jump.
or 50 would have been with Doom. I thought. Anyway.
Yeah, I
yeah,
thought
no.
Doom
If it were in the
gave it a jump.
40s, it would have gone higher. than that.
A
Right.
Buscema Thor
If
cover.
it was in the 40s, I would have jumped on it.
Yeah, I think early bronze.
might have tried
covers,
for it if
there's
it
a
was gonna be in the
floor already
40s.
for
Yes.
major hero.
I've got an
early
equity
bronze
line.
covers.
Yeah, I thought it would. I thought it would hit 80. I really thought it would hit 80. But the 66 is nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah.
Or 68 or
So it's
whatever.
like Medusa. He takes off his mask and Thor turns into Don Blake.
Okay, next.
Moving
This is
right
yours.
along.
This is yours, Mike. Right?
Yeah.
Mike,
You had that on your site.
I got that from Albert in a trade. I couldn't move it and gave it to Heritage, and it did better than what I had it on my website for.
Magic, huh?
Yep, and on my website for
Mike.
50.
Not for me.
I
got it from you.
actually went for that and was the second underbidder.
Were you?
What?
Yeah. I liked it. I tried to buy it from Mike. He was like, nah, I changed my mind. I'm putting it in Heritage.
Yeah. After last auction, I said, maybe they'll do better, and it did.
You really suck, Mike.
He said, Nick, you take too long to pay.
Oh, you're horrible, Mike.
Yeah, I'm going to make a prediction.
Oh, you still want the Submariner. We'll talk about the Submariner.
In 5 years, we'll be looking back at this time going, can you imagine all the bronze covers coming to auction?
In 5 years,
they'll get much more scarce.
In 18 months. 18 months.
They're drying up.
Mike Callahan, what he's saying is not true.
What's he saying?
Where was it?
That I screwed you over.
He did not screw me over.
Let
me be
clear.
Mike.
You screwed Nick over.
You wanted the Submariner. You never asked me about the Avengers.
No, I was kidding about him saying I take too long to pay. I went to go talk to him about it, and he just said he was working on the deal, and I was too late. It's on me. It's not on Mike.
It's all good.
Well, good. Congratulations, Mike. That's good result for you.
I think it's all on Mike. Yes, he screwed you up.
Next,
how would I help you?
There was no Albert tax on it, though.
Oh God!
There's no such thing as an Albert tax.
Anyway.
Come on. All right, Kirby Ayers Avengers 16 splash. It went for 66,000 as well. Oh, a lot of these things are.
See, I like this one a lot. I bid on it, but I didn't get it. So
I think it went a little. I think this went a little high. I mean, it is the changing. Huh?
It was just jack layouts, but I liked it.
What'd you say, Albert?
I said, yeah, some devil got it.
Yeah.
So anyway, I think it went a little higher than I thought it would. I mean, it is the changing of the guard issue, but
Yeah.
Great images of all.
Going to what Dino said, in 18 months we'll be sitting here going, man, that was cheap.
I don't think so. But anyway.
Next.
All right, moving right along, right?
Yes.
Do this.
Now, Dino, you got the data. Wasn't this sold a few years ago in Heritage?
Which one? This one here?
For this one, well, the same was sold for 34,000 in September 20.
Okay.
Right.
So now it doubled.
doubled.
Yeah. I think the Moonlight TV series starting to come up. It's a Spider-Man cover, and I know a collector that went after all the bronze Spider-Man covers or some of the bronze Spider-Man covers in the auction. This one went well above what he had estimated.
I said at auction, I think I bought I'm just saying, I bought the unpublished version of this cover, which is very similar.
Oh, that's right.
And I bought it for I think $4,000 and sold it to a guy for $7,000, and I was happy.
Yeah.
But I liked it just as much. But it's not the published, and it was polared, but it looked great. And again, not ASM sells. So
it's Moon Knight, the TV series just hit. There was a lot of heat.
It's from the main title. So
hey, Mike, the Cavs lost.
115, 108.
Too bad.
Yeah,
they covered the spread though. They covered the spread.
That's one I would have went for.
I love this one too.
Thursday and Friday were combined, and this was the last item of the day.
Yeah,
I lost everything on Thursday except for one piece, and I would have went stronger for this if Thursday and Friday were combined. I would have absolutely. I don't think it went cheap, but I love the cover.
You're Mr. Submariner, Nick. You should have went for this.
You know what? I was saving up to be a punk, as Albert said. We'll get to my punk status.
Now this was who? This was Ramita and who?
Went too late. It really.
Diacoya.
Right. Was it?
It was a full Ramita.
It was Wilson.
No,
and
Wilson.
Diacoya.
It's Wilson and Giacoya with Ramita
touches.
Oh wow! To me, 66 is unbelievably strong for this series.
Strong. I think Ramita only did the Submariner face.
I know that's another reason why I would have went for it.
That's a strong price.
I would have put stuff in auction to get this, but I had to wait to see what I was going to go for on Friday.
Right. I said when it's at the end of the auction, you got to suffer through the other stuff if you can't buy any other stuff when you got to save. I said sometimes it is a blessing to have an artist that's at the top of the alphabet, so at least if you don't get something, you know where you're at.
It's a good thing about going after Neil Adams.
I said Neil Adams and Art Adams fans have a better hunch on the market because their stuff goes early.
All right, let's
They should have some auctions and do it in reverse.
let's scroll down a little more, Bill. Let's scroll
we
down.
talked a lot about Jim Lee.
Of any,
There's a lot of Jim Lee in here, isn't there? Look at this. There's just Jim Lee after Jim Lee after Jim Lee. You know, and
That's why I said if a Hush cover comes up again, I can't see any of them going for less than 150, and I think a lot of them will go for over 200. So scroll down.
I was curious what people thought about the Treasury cover price.
I thought that was kind of cheap.
I mean, you know, because I believe the pencil by Kane does exist out there. This is just the Ramita finished inks on
Lightbox.
Yeah, but I mean, I will say something to agree with Mike. As much as I love Kane, I would rather have this.
Oh, yeah, I would take this 100 times over the pencil. Absolutely.
Sorry, I don't believe in Mike, but but I still think this went high.
Right. Yeah.
What was the final price?
63,000.
I thought it was going to go for 80
for a vellum piece.
Yes. Look at how many characters, and you got Spider-Man and Daredevil.
Characters.
It is the published cover.
It is.
Yeah.
Next,
and it's a little oversized compared to regular artwork too.
You know.
Next,
Mike will be with me on this. It went for a reasonable price, right, Mike?
Yeah, well, being a treasure, I actually thought it went high.
Okay.
So this one's a complete story. If you read it, it's actually a great one. They're falling from the sky. There's no filler pages. It's all Daredevil. I mean, it's Captain America, Spider-Man, and Nick Fury. Great story.
Me and Albert tried to go partners on it, but it just went too high.
Yeah.
For us.
Well,
but it's a phenomenal story.
Yeah. Nope.
Next.
I remember that one.
Really going late.
Next. Let's talk about let's.
It's 10 o'clock, Albert. You might turn into a pumpkin.
To me, this was a shocker price. I know Moon Knight's on it, but I thought that was a shocker price.
Hannigan's on the rise.
Ed Hannigan Defenders cover. Number 19 went
with
for
no Hulk on it, no Doctor Strange.
Stop with the Hulk bullshit. You know,
but I mean, the main characters are not on it.
Think about the artist. I mean,
Hulk and Doctor Strange are like the two main defenders in my book, and even Nighthawk.
I don't even want to talk about this.
Next.
All right,
I'm just saying that went for a phenomenal.
Albert's calling it a night, everybody.
All right, good night, Albert.
Good night, Albert.
I'll let you guys know where he called me a punk when we get to it.
All right, I'm done. Okay.
All right, let's talk about Dazzler.
All right, yeah. But I mean, I don't know where we were going with that, other than it's very high price. Not what anybody would.
I thought it would sell for half of that
because of the characters not being on it.
I own the 50 cover. It has the Hulk and all the other Defenders.
You still own it?
I still own it. I'm thankful.
I can't remember that one.
Yeah, it's the anniversary.
Dino, one day I want to buy your Submariner 30 cover. Just saying.
Oh, I know.
Dazzler. This one cheap. I was the underbidder, and this one cheap.
Well, you can make an offer of 110.
No, because I would have no.
See now, I know this is one that a lot of people have said went cheap, and I don't know, going into it, I wasn't expecting it to really go.
There's a couple of hardcore Dazzler fans.
No. Right, but that's just it. You just said there's a couple of hardcore Dazzler fans.
I thought it sold for what it should have, but everybody is saying it sold.
I think it sold for cheap because people expected it in the 75, 80. It was the first marquee piece.
Well, there's a lot of guys with big money that love number ones. That's why.
Yes. But I just think even if it is cheap, I think it requires a buyer that really loves the character and the and face it, it's not a marquee artist. I mean, Larkin did Fireside books. It's beautiful.
It doesn't matter. This is so iconic. One of the first direct market big pushes from Marvel, sold 700 or 800,000 copies. This was huge. It was historic. It was well remembered. And I know the person who wanted it didn't bid on it based on principle. And I thought it went cheap. What
was the principle if they wanted it and didn't bid on it?
We could talk about that offline.
Yeah. If it's a number one and you like Dazzler, then you go for it.
We could talk about it offline.
Right. And Ruben mentions that if this auction had 600 lots, the cover sells for 75 easily.
Well, I think the price would have went a lot higher if there was 200 or 300 less lots. That's true.
But at the end of the day, I mean, see, I keep going back and thinking, what was this 3 or 4 years ago? And I know I shouldn't, but I mean, we're not talking 20 years.
3 or 4 years ago, that's 20 grand or less.
Right. Right.
Well, we know the owner previously.
Thank you, Fred Chamberlain. He's making fun of me.
but I have to think. I mean, if you had offered, I think if you had offered 55 to the owner 2 years ago, he wouldn't have taken it. I actually think.
Yeah, I mean,
it's such a personal kind of piece for him.
Yeah,
and to the new owner, I'm sure will cherish this.
And honestly, on some levels, this is probably one of the most beautiful Larkin covers of all time.
I can't argue with that. I love Larkin's painting.
Yeah, but this is one of the most beautiful, hands down, period. I think this was even a poster. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Everybody saw
this was the Essentials cover. It was the trade pack paperback. That was cool.
All right, so it went cheap.
All right.
Unfortunately,
I did think I would prefer. There's one other cover in the run that I'd prefer over this, the black and white one. But
the black and white one, yeah. Nope, I would agree. But yeah, I mean,
and like I said, I was the underbidder on it. So,
you were on the Dazzler?
Yeah.
He's on that.
But why did you?
If it went so cheap and it went higher than your max, then it went too
much. Because he had so many other things.
Yeah, there were so many. There were so many other things.
And this was in the platinum session, so you had to hold back for the 650 other lots that were coming.
Platinum makes it easier. So there's only 40 lots that day, so you knew what you were up against.
No, but then there's the next day. But then there's the next day.
Yeah, but you get it now.
I had more
about the next day. See, if it were Friday, I get that analogy, not Thursday. Thursday, you got to go for it or else you're done, baby.
Listen.
You're in it to win it.
To finish what I was going to say, Michael.
You don't have just a passing fancy.
No, but this is a key point. If there is a piece that it's a must-have, I got to have it, that's where you see those stratospheric prices.
Yeah,
sure.
Two people will just bid it to the sky. But maybe this one was like, everyone thinks it's so memorable, it's so cool, but you didn't have someone who says, I will forego everything else in the auction to go after this really hard.
There were too many other grails to go after. Yeah. That to me was, oh my God, this would be really cool to have it.
Okay.
Larson
wasn't a grail.
Larson's most iconic covers. But you have to have a limit on this stuff.
You do.
Right, so it wasn't a grail. I get it.
Yeah, it was just beautiful. I can find it beautiful, but not have it be the, oh my God, this is the one I'm going to overpay
that
for.
Happens to me every auction, man. I get it.
That makes sense. So this one, let's go to this. So this is a Paro. First time he's drawn these three characters on a cover.
Yeah.
Historically, the Paro Batmans have been 20 to 30, 35, the better ones. For this to go at 55, I mean, what a great! I mean, you got the first bang.
I traded it to a friend who traded it for other stuff, and I assume that person put in the auction. So I'm upset about this. So it went too high. I'm upset. Too high.
Yeah.
I want to be an Albert. I got screwed.
I bid for a friend of mine. He goes bid 35 for me, and I said, "Oh, I think you're going to get it." That's what I told him. I go, I think you're going to get it.
The good Caros go for 35, Mike. This was definitely going higher. This was going to be 50 plus easy.
Well, you got to keep in mind one other thing. Forget about the fact that all three characters are on here. Paro drew the Joker less than 10 times on the cover.
Yes.
Less than 10 times. If you want an Paro Joker cover, you really got to fight.
This is also later in the run too.
Yeah, the first time he appears with a bang gun on the cover too. So.
Yeah, it is.
That's
but
cool.
I think it's just there's less than 10 Joker covers, and that's how my friend. Look, my friend really wanted it,
Agreed.
And then he got to trade it for another Grail. All kidding aside, I did not get screwed. My friend got a chance to get a Grail. It's all good.
Hey, once you give up art, the person can do whatever they want with
it. Mike. Exactly.
I never feel offended if I trade something and somebody gets a lot for it. It's the way it goes. Right.
Yep.
Okay.
Larson starting to make a comeback.
Make a comeback? When has he gone away?
Well, these prices, man, I thought that was a great price. But
great in more than what you were expecting?
Yeah. It was.
I mean, I know it's Spidey and Lars and Venom, but I still thought 54 was a pretty.
See, I'm going to argue that this was a fair price, because I think when you look at the Larson pieces that have sold, even just the Spidey pieces are, the splashes are going for 30 plus 40. And here's Venom.
So many of these Larson Venom battle pages made in the 90s, but that's the way it goes.
I think the calculus is Venom's 50% more. So
I think,
that's probably true.
I agree.
Also, way we should not lose sight of one thing. Yes, Todd co-created Venom, but Larson gave Venom the tongue. Larson gave Venom the crazy look. Much like Liefeld and Fabian co-created Deadpool, but it wasn't until Joe Kelly and Ed McGuinness and Joe Madureira did it that you started getting the Deadpool we know today. So the Venom we really got to know, Larson really created that persona.
Absolutely. And you can't, if the owner of this one won't have to look for another Larson page.
That's
accepting offers. Wait, I know we didn't get down to it, but look at what the Bagley Venom sold for.
Well, look at what
Venom sold for 40. That one shocked the heck out of me.
Look at what Red Bullet said. He said McLarson now, not even McSpidey, McLarson.
Yeah. Well, they're back to back, and that was a great run that they had.
Nick.
I'm a punk.
Nick tells me this is what he wants. Yeah, he whispers at the end of the show last time. He goes,
I told everybody live. I screwed up.
What did you say?
I said that that this is the number one piece I'm going for.
Yeah, you did.
And
I got screwed. I'm the underbidder.
You like the Larson just a little bit more.
Oh, man.
I mean the Larkin.
I didn't like the Larkin more, but I couldn't. Look, here's the thing. I've got 8 of the 20 pages, and there's 2 or 3 other pages.
That book. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I bought one page from you years ago that I gave to John Cassaday because it's his favorite comic of all time. So I know where that page is. But this, I mean, I felt, there's a part of me that felt like somebody was just pushing me up just to push me up. And this is one that was being milked the entire freaking
We're going to take a moment of silence for Ukraine.
I find out is the only piece that gets milked are the ones you're going after.
Oh yeah.
There were a lot of ones.
How many times I'm going, close it. They keep talking and taking a sip of juice and shit.
I was in my car bidding on this. I went in my car to bid on this because I was so passionate, and I'm screaming, and I was on the phone with a friend, and he's like, "Are you in the office?" I said, "No, I actually went in the car. I'm across the street in the parking lot. I'm using my Air card because I know how tense I'm getting on this." And thanks, Alberto. And I just Alberto stopped at 40. I stopped at 42, and the guy at 44 plus juice got it. But like, I literally had already, he was like, all right, I got this complete Romita Jr. Spider-Man I'm putting in. I've got these Keith Giffen Legion of Superheroes pages I'm going to put in.
Hey, you can always make an offer at 79 too, Nick.
I got to tell you, I put in 17 grand. It was at 12,777 for like 2 weeks. So right before the auction went live, I put in 17,000. It popped to 13,000. And when they went live, this was sitting at 17,000 for like 20 seconds. And then they started freaking milking it. And every single time it would get down to 1 second, then Alberto and somebody else would hit it up.
Blame it on Alberto.
Alberto, you knew I was going for this. This is why you did it to me. What did I ever do to you, Alberto? What did I ever do to you?
Technically, there was 2 bids past him, so there was another person if you were 44.
Right, I was 42. The other person was 44.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah, well, next time.
What are you going to do?
But
every person in the hobby has that story.
All kidding aside, like seriously, all kidding aside, I had my limit, and I look at the fact that I have 8 pages from that story.
Sure.
So I said, you know what? Either somebody is messing with me because I said live, I said live that I was going for it, and that was a mistake. I never should have said it live.
You should
Either
have placed one more bid, Nick.
Or somebody was just trying to outbid, just really wanted it more.
Nick, you should have went to 46, so you had no regrets.
You know what? I have no regrets. I have no regrets.
You're regretting it right now.
I'm having fun because Albert called me a punk. Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure Albert won it, and he's the one who bid me up, and he was just trying to get me to spend more money.
He does that a lot, but I don't think he bid on that one. But who knows?
Yeah.
Well, let's say we're at the hour 20 mark. Do you want
All right, go to the next one. Go to the next one below.
Do you want to talk about the Pollard Milgram Spider-Man cover?
Yeah, I won that one.
Oh, at
but listen to this though. Funny story. The guy that owned it called me up. He goes, I said, I'm very interested. He goes, I want 125. I go, 125? I go, put it at auction. He goes, I will. I said, okay. So I went at auction.
They'll go down like three, and I'll show you the first thing.
Well, first of all, let's just do the funeral for a friend.
Oh, right, yeah, the funeral piece.
This I went after this. I didn't win it, but I thought this was an exceptional piece. The DPS with like all the characters. I thought 50 is a great price.
No, if you're into that, I think that's as cool as any of the battle pages.
I do too. I thought this was.
I mean, the Death of Superman. You got that Death of Superman, the funeral.
Yeah, this is the one that's
a great spread. If you had one piece, that's a great one to have.
I think this should have sold for 80. I really think this should have sold higher.
Yeah,
I was expecting that one to go for more just because of what the other ones were going for.
Yeah. True. No, I mean double page spread, like you said, the actual funeral. So
now, if you want to see one that I did actually win, skip
and
down
Michael
to
Callahan and Michael Callahan said it right. There's always a next time. There's always more art out there.
Right. So this, I did win this one. I
do
have my
Alberto! Yay!
And
Dino. I'm sorry, Dino.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. Zek Punisher,
Alberto
#1 cover, painted about the size of a poster. So I love it.
I watched that auction and I go, whoever gets that, that's an awesome piece.
This was crazy because it's at the end of the auction. I'm like holding back on other things. I'm like, I'm definitely going to make a play for it.
And it's very, very large too.
Yeah, it's huge. And of course, I'm never going to go after the limited series covers. But this
as
one
Mikhail just said, bricks.
Yeah, got my bricks.
It's a Falcon. As,
doing its thing. Just perfectly centered, and I loved it.
All right, really next.
Dino, that's going to look great on the wall.
Dino, that is beautiful. You don't need that Submariner 30 anymore.
Yeah, that's right.
Although I'm not sure I can afford the Submariner 30 in this market.
Well, I mean, Dino, if for the pieces, for getting this piece, though, I mean, Zek, this piece has been one of my favorite pieces of all time from him, and so
it just screams nostalgia.
It's absolutely gorgeous,
absolutely,
and it's up there with some of Zek's best Punisher.
And people don't realize this is still from 1989, relatively early in Punisher's career with Zek, which makes it even better. And it's a #1 published cover.
Yeah, no, you got a winner.
Not just a print; it's a published cover.
So, Bill, let's do this right now. Just start scrolling down, and if any of us see something a little bit slower, I'm old. And if anybody
in the comments wants us to bring up something, we can as well.
Yeah, scroll down. Go.
We got the Cap cover, the Pollard Spidey cover. Because I don't want to miss anything here either.
Yeah, just call them out because I can't see them all.
Frank Miller, Daredevil 174 page.
Go ahead, pop that up.
Pop it up.
So, this is a Miller battling ninjas, no costume, but what a page!
It's an incredible page, and this is where Miller's at these days. I mean,
I will tell you, there's the Miller DD. Everyone's always asking for Miller DD pages, and it shows. This is why these pages get to 45,000 because there's such a hunger for quality Miller DD. And look at the fight scene. I mean, if he was in costume, this would be double. So
right.
Don't worry, Ruben. We're going to not look at everyone. Bill's going to call out the title and the artist, and we'll see what we get to.
I will say, see that the Ramita, next one. I thought this. I love the composition of this page, and I love it when the guys call out the hero's name, like Spider-Man. He's coming through a window. It's got him in action.
Did you look this one up? Because this was in auction like a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I missed that one. But this is a sharp page if someone's looking for Ramita's.
I said I had the whole book and split it up about 5 years ago.
Yeah.
That's a great page.
Breaking
Very
up
cool.
the
Yeah,
book.
they use that on merchandising a lot.
That's a great cover. I thought this cover would go for 60.
I have
This
to
was
confess,
yours, Mike?
I bought this one.
Yeah.
Oh,
You got a good deal, Mike.
good.
Yeah, Kane Ramita again. I love it. Look at this. I'm just saying, compared to the Hannigan went for 60. Would you rather? I guess if you're a Moon Knight fan, I get it. But to me, this one is worth far more than the 47 cover that sold for.
And
60.
plus, you get Power Man, who's not normally in.
And it's the first storyline ever of the Wrecking Crew. They appear in 18 and 19. It's a 2-part story, but
I think there's a sleep discount though. If you see the
Yeah, they're
characters
knocked out, right?
I said the one bad thing on the cover is the heroes are defeated. That is.
Did everybody hit their thumbs up yet? Hit that thumbs up. I'm looking on my other computer. We're at 62. Come on.
Oh, we can do better than that. Come on, we've got 115 people watching us right now.
I will say, let's not look at every Tales of Suspense 59. The 2 people who bought these felt like they paid, below retail. So I guess once these get split up over time, we'll see.
We'll say, hey, Bill, can you just bring up the Hulk for just 2 seconds?
Sure.
Didn't you have this for sale for like 12?
I had this on my site for 28 grand for 2 years and put it in the auction and sold for a lot more. So
congratulations, Mike. That's great.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I was telling Albert, I don't even know if people look at websites anymore because a lot of stuff, I'm just saying, I took off my website and gave it. It sold for so much more in Heritage. I go, I don't know if people don't skim websites. I'm just saying, I don't know if other people. I have a lot of stuff on my website that I priced up like 7-8 years ago, and some guys are smart and they go through and pick and choose all the stuff. But sometimes I'm just saying, sometimes not just me, but other websites. Sometimes you can find stuff on websites and get better deals at auctions if you have the time to look through it. That's all.
Yeah. All right. Next.
Well, that's and it's funny. I was over at Mike's house on Saturday, and I didn't know he had consigned so much to Heritage this time around. But I literally said, with the prices that we're seeing today, I don't know why guys like you and Albert aren't just putting stuff in Heritage just every time around.
I never used to, but right now it's like, my goodness gracious.
Yeah. Tempted by the wood with the piracy one, that Wally Wood cover.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Not that many EC covers, and I just think the whole concept of pirates these days have become so famous. But a lot of detail in that. But I didn't know how to. I mean, I think I probably would have chased about 35.
And that whole cover is at the left and everything. I mean, look at how much detail is on that.
Yeah. Well, look, that covers an influence to the pirate story in Watchmen.
That's right. That's right. Really? That's right.
Yeah, I said there's still a lot of EC. Pirate. I think a lot of EC. It's starting to jump up, but I always thought for a couple of years EC was very undervalued when you compared it to the Marvel contemporaries.
All right, let's scroll down a little, get some of the cheaper stuff.
There's the Bagley there. That was a shocker of a price, I thought.
Yeah. That was a really strong price.
I mean, a strong price, but again, it's the first really great Bagley that's come to market. I mean, a really great one, non-cover. And again, the Venom, like Dino said, the Venom factor. Of course, if it's anybody but Venom, it goes for less than half of that. Probably, you agree, Dino?
Yeah. I mean, look at the fight image here. That's
awesome.
Spectacular.
Awesome.
Keep hitting that thumbs up, everybody, and let's keep scrolling down.
All right.
I'm not trying to be Albert. I just want to. Everybody wants us.
Wait, the Commandy again. I'm just saying. Just an example again. The Commandy I had on my website for 25 grand.
Yeah, and this was a origin number one homage.
I'm just saying, I got it for 25 grand on my website. Somebody bought it for 40.8. I gave it to Heritage. So
go ahead, Dino, you were saying?
I was going to say, this was one cover that's interesting. It was the homage to the number one cover.
Yes, and that's all art too. That right side, that reprints number one.
Would have been a good example.
Yeah,
it's tough. Commandy is not one that people clamor for. So, but it's a good Kirby.
But Jack is Jack, so.
Oh, and there you go. There's the Dave Stevens Black Angel. I think Rich was asking about this one. So there you go, Rich. 40,800.
I thought Dave Stevens on a cover. It could go anywhere. Yeah, there's Alien Worlds. There's this one. Hey, if you want a Stevens, you'd pay 25,000 for just an illustration. Rocketeer. Right. Here you get a published cover, and he's drawing a woman.
Somebody not scantily clad. That's the only downer.
Somebody asked us to go back to Sam Keith, so let's scroll back up to Sam Keith real quick.
Right here, sure.
Yeah, I mean that's the market for Sam Keith.
Yeah, I thought that was a strong price for
it's a very strong price. It is a very strong price. I thought this was going to be 25.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I just sold you a Ghost Rider cable cover last year, I think, for like 10 grand, didn't I?
2 years ago.
I actually think Albert had
years
this
ago?
on his site for 25 about a
Yeah.
year
What's
ago.
that?
Albert had this on his site for 25.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it looks really familiar.
All right.
I've got a friend who's got a Wolverine and Venom covered by Sam Keith. He's
Yeah,
looking to
those are
move it
doozies
sometime
now.
in the near future. I don't know what he's going to do,
Okay.
but
I
mean,
just sold Anker my Splash Venom.
Don't even get me started on that. I know that splash is beautiful. I love that splash.
But no, you can stop here, Bill. So I
Yeah.
got that the Secret Wars
This is an amazing piece, Dino. I'm so glad
poster.
you got
Has
this one.
everyone? It's about this. It's a poster. It's going to be going. It's going to be replacing the Hal Foster in my office. So I'm gonna enjoy that one.
I will say this. This was Milgram, right?
Yeah.
No,
this
this
is
is Ron
Wilson.
I mean,
And,
Wilson. I'm sorry, Wilson. I will tell you, this is one of the single most beautiful Ron Wilson images
Yes.
I've ever seen.
Listen, I told him before we got on the air, I consigned this. I bought this in Heritage's very, very first auction in 01 or 02 for $600.
Good.
And I've had it on my wall for 20 years. And I said, oh, Secret Wars, I'll put it in auction.
I told Bill after the vault show.
I
I
had
said
no
this is
idea
one
what
of the
it
two
was
pieces
worth,
I was going after, and I said,
No, Ruben, I have the John Byrne poster. I have the John Byrne poster, not the Ron Wilson. They're very similar. Ruben's asking if I had this in my calf.
right.
No. The John Byrne is still on my calf. This one, on a lot of levels, the John Byrne is just
Beyonder.
Mhm.
This has all the characters on so many levels.
This piece is so big that the characters actually are decent looking when you see the actual art because it's so big. You know?
In person, this is gonna be, and
Right,
just-
you're gonna like it when you see it in person.
All right, let's scroll down a little bit more quickly.
Congrats, Dino. I'm glad you got
congrats,
this one.
Dino. I think you got a fair deal.
Oh, just real quick, I bought the Doctor Strange cover here. I personally think it's Colin's best Doctor Strange cover he ever drew.
Yeah, and you got
If you
5
look
of them
at-
on
I mean,
there. 5
You have
Strange.
5 different Doctor Stranges on the cover. I just thought it was so cool. I said, gotta get it. So I thought that was a cool piece. That was all.
Hey, Dino, James wanted to know what the size was on that.
Oh, it's
Secret Wars
I
piece.
think it's
22
by
by it's 22 by 36.
Yeah,
Wow.
It's framed already, so
Marcus.
Minute
We're all talking over each other. Marcus, real quick, the Beyonders coming back. Marvel's announced, so there's a lot of heat on the Beyonder. That's why Secret Wars, plus Secret Wars with the Zek, it's lifted everything a little bit.
agree.
That's good.
So let's talk about this Byrne She-Hulk
Oh,
down
sure.
below.
Yeah.
I actually think this is the best image Byrne ever drew of She-Hulk. It's a splash, but it got cover.
Very,
money.
very detailed.
I love.
sexy.
I just thought the detail behind here is amazing. This was done for that Marvel graphic novel, which was supposedly adult, sort of for more mature readers. And the detail he puts into this thing is just—it's amazing. It sold $10,000, I think, about 4 years ago. So I thought, okay, maybe it'll go for like twice, you know. But
Look,
it
it
went
used
more
to
than
be
that.
the most expensive Byrne art was X-Men,
FF, X-Men, X-Men.
Superman. Now it's X-Men, FF, She-Hulk, and I'm not
That's right.
kidding. She-Hulk is going.
Well,
through a
Superman
lot.
is starting to get pretty good prices too by Byrne.
It is, but She-Hulk's popped up.
But
And
She-Hulk's
by the way,
clearly
Probably more sought after.
Ruben, we will go to the least expensive item last. Okay, we promise.
We're getting there. We're actually, we're doing
Yeah,
better
we're making
tonight
good-
than I
good
think we've
progress.
ever done.
Keep
right.
scrolling. Yeah. Keep
The
scrolling.
Miller seemed a little, I will say, strong for 2 reasons.
Yeah.
For 2 reasons. One, you hardly see Elektra, and 2,
Oh, that was
you gotta- issue 182 to 190. Everybody has to keep in mind. Frank drew on 6x8 paper.
layouts.
Klaus blew it up and did the art. I'm not taking anything away. Just like on the Ramita, this is the published page. This is the published page. But when you combine the two things, especially since you barely see Elektra, I thought this was a really strong price.
Right. Now the page preceding, which has the big view of Elektra, her face in the mountain, that would have knocked the socks off of people, even though it was a layout of Miller. But this one had just too much mountain, too much snow to really go after the $50,000 level. But you do get 2 pages, and
I disagree, Ruben. I want the Michael Jackson look. This way my burn is worth more. I want the. Where do you think Cable got those shoulders from? From John Byrne.
Yeah. Right. Because I would have liked to have had these pages. I mean, it's from a great story. Regardless of what Miller did on the page. But I was talking. I won't say with who, but I was talking with a dealer who said, "Oh yeah, he's like, do you like that stuff? Somebody actually showed these 2 pages to me." I'm like, "Oh man, that was great. Can you get them?" I mean, I would, I was thinking maybe I could make an offer or play for it. And this is like 3 months ago, and they're like, "Well, I offered them $5,000 and they wouldn't take it." I'm like, "You're an idiot! If you offered them $5,000, of course they're not going to take it. I mean, you could have at least tried like 15 or something a little bit more reasonable." And then there they were on there. I'm like,
they were.
Yeah. So, well, I won't throw them under the bus for that.
Okay, let's hope Dinesh got this Shadow Man. That's one of the best.
That'll be nice. It's the only reason why I didn't bid on it.
Such a cool.
I would like to think he should have. Yeah.
Yes, he definitely should have. So hey, look at we get
the
page
just real quick. I got the Wallywood Daredevil page 2 at the last page.
Sorry,
but you've been selling a lot of those too, though.
Don't go
Mike,
back.
you've sold a lot of
I sold them all for good
5
money,
and
man.
6.
A lot of them have sold for, people forget Wood only did 3 issues that are known to exist. So,
all right, let's scroll down. Let's go to.
We made it to the 30,000s. I don't think we've ever gotten this far before.
Yeah, we're making good progress.
The Ron friend seemed to be a little soft.
Yeah, I thought so
it
too.
Actually sell for more, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
Black Spidey.
It's the 5th issue with the Black Spidey. It's the first appearance of the Puma. Not that you see him, and not that the Puma's but great ass shot too. If you're into that.
Back shot.
A thigh gap, definitely.
There you go.
What do we got here? We got a Gil Kane.
The Wally Wood. Real quick, the Don Heck Wally Wood. I lost out on that. This is the first Avengers comic I remember reading with Cap being thrown from the building, and it was crazy. It was at like $7,200, and then jumped to 20, and I was like, "All right, I'm out."
Yeah, a good friend in the chat, who is going after this one, loves the Swordsman. This would have been perfect, but at 28, this is
strong.
It's a strong price.
Yep.
There you go. The bare-chested Peter Parker. Was that yours, Mike?
No, believe it or not, I own almost every single ASM splash, and I always hated this one.
This one.
When I was 7 years old, we had a coverless issue copy of this, and I always thought Spider-Man was like 60 feet. Peter Parker was 60 feet tall. Just as a kid, I go, he looks like a giant. I didn't understand the perspective. I never, ever I know who bought this, but this is the only Kane ASM issue I only have. I have less than half of the pages to.
Yeah.
So I never was interested in this one. Every other.
I just think without him, his mask, you kind of lose.
If he was in full costume, I would have gone hog wild for it. But I just don't like this one.
Let's go to the Frank Miller Superman special. I thought this one cheap.
28.
I thought this should have been in the 40 grand range.
Okay.
Yeah, Miller on Superman.
But I don't think he got it.
This is around Sin City time, so this is a key piece. All right.
I think this was in previous auctions.
And here is one I know that I think that you want to talk about. This basically.
This is for a Miller prelim, Spider-Man and Daredevil.
Yeah,
28,000 is very strong. But I thought this was just the demand for Miller DD carrying over into other pieces, and maybe
so you want this, Nina?
No.
I was going to say I feel bad. I was actually the underbidder.
I thought this just
shows
Mike, how strong the market is.
I didn't bid on this. No.
Oh, you did that thumbs up. I was like, okay.
Oh, no. I was reading in the comments what Marcus said.
Oh, no, I was the underbidder on this. Even though I don't like the way Spider-Man's legs are. He looks like a ballerina doing a really bad split. But
hey, McFarlane does
Daredevil.
even worse. So
Yeah, but I went for the Daredevil, one of the two greatest Marvel characters of all time with the Submariner.
yeah, they're definitely in the top two.
Anyway, but yes, a strong price for a prelim, and obviously, Nick, you were going after it, but
it's Miller and
you
Daredevil.
you can argue of all there's so many Miller pieces in this auction. This is the only one Miller Daredevil in costume.
Yeah,
right.
Everyone else is no costume, or it's Matt Murdock, or it's Elektra.
And another one. Now, this was not live. This was on Sunday, but man, it felt this one was being milked, even with it being mechanical and automated.
Oh, this one went on for a while.
Yeah.
Okay,
All
Bill.
right.
Next one. I won this one. I won this. This is the DC Superheroes poster art, the wraparound cover. It was a poster book. Had 20 of these posters from all the characters. It's about 26 by 19. So I thought this 1978, purely when I was reading this stuff, it'll pair well with my Marvel 1990 25th anniversary poster. So I'll have my Marvel heroes and my DC heroes.
Go for over 40.
Adams, Giordano.
Yep. And actually, this was too early in the auction for me to bid on, but I thought it was going to go for over 40.
And what was great was it kind of went under the radar. Adams was starting of the fourth of the 4,000 one.
This popped right away
fast. But I knew it'd be around this level, but that's
the other thing about this auction. Tell me if you guys disagree. There were far fewer pops in this auction than there has been in years. Far fewer pops. I can actually start naming the pops. This was a pop. The Avengers 20 was a pop. A lot of stuff did not pop. I'm not saying it didn't go up, but there were no sudden, oh my God, how did that happen? Mm-hmm. Even the Captain America 252, like I said, I put in 17. It went from 12,777 to 13. When it started, it went to 17, and it got milked till it went to 18. And again, like, okay, maybe I'm a little bitter about the 255, maybe just a little.
All right. Well, this one, I think it was really happy to get that, and it'll go well on my wall.
That's a good piece.
I threw in the towel on the Submariner. I was
Please tell us you got the Submariner, Nick. I laid off it just for you.
I was the underbidder, and you'll
you should have gotten that one. I love the Piranha.
You'll be happy to hear why, Mike. You're gonna love to hear why.
Because somebody loved Piranha more than you.
No. I was bidding on this. And I think you know who won it. I found out after the fact who won it. And then I realized, I was like, okay, I'm bidding on this so that I can have 3 of the 6 Disco Submariner covers. Mm-hmm. But I've got 67 and 68, the 2 Ramita ones. As much as I love Kane, why am I going to just drive this up and get to the point where I overpay? I do think it's a $35,000 to $40,000 cover. So the person who got it at wholesale. Don't get me wrong. And if I hadn't bid on it, this probably would have went for $11,000.
Yeah, I wouldn't say wholesale, but
I held back on this one. I love
it. I mean, like I said, and when you look at the covers to 67 to 72, this is the second to least desirable one. The Larry Lieber is artistically well done, but it's the least desirable. This is second to least. You've got 67, 68, 60.
Right, we standing up. Yeah, those big images.
Yeah, and with Spider-Man, you've got Spider-Man on 69 with Submariner, So it's like, maybe Bill one day, Bill J will sell me the 69. So, like I said, I just decided, you know what? And again, then the next day there was so much more stuff. This was platinum, and I just didn't want to go crazy.
Yeah.
Right. I'm gonna get a black disco costume somewhere one day.
Oh, okay. You mean the cover? I thought you were getting a costume for yourself. You scared me. No. Moon Knight, right time to put this in.
Yeah, perfect timing.
Yeah.
These Moon Knight one pages were 8,000 to 9,000 just 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So good for the consignor there.
It's all right, Alberto. It's all good. You don't have to. Oh, Wes, you own the 69.
Okay, Bill, Blade Runner. Go to Blade Runner. That's just the 2.
Oh, yeah.
2 down. So I thought this would. I thought I could get this for a little, not steal, but a good value. I had no idea it would climb to this level. But the image is terrific. It's a short series. I've always said trying to draw, perspective like this is incredibly hard. I think it's even in the rain or whatever. Anyway, I love the cover, but I couldn't chase it this high. But somebody got a really good one.
And Ruben, no, I said this is the second to least desirable of 67 to 72.
Right.
There's six Disco Spider-Man, Submariner covers. There's 6 of those, and this is the second to least desirable. The Blade Runner I had no feel for. Maybe the second movie doing bad hurt it. It's a beautiful cover, so no feel.
Did it hurt it? I mean, you were thinking it was going to go a little lower, Dino?
I did. I thought it would be 18 to 20. And I pushed it to there, but obviously someone wanted it more. But would love to have had that one. That I think that was the good representation from that series. I remember the movie and stuff. So.
Oh yeah.
But again, is early in the auction, right, Anderson? So I had to hold back.
Actually, let's go up real quick. I know we said we're going to stop talking about Man of Steel, but that page right there,
the Doomsday,
that's a freaking $75,000 page.
That's the first full figure Doomsday.
Yeah, that's a $75,000, maybe even $100,000 page. And like I said, I know 2 people that would have paid $100,000 for it. So
where were they?
Yeah, where were they?
Same problem. Too many items and too early on. They put this. Remember, Bogdanov was first in this auction. They put him before Adams, before everybody. And again, they went in the reverse timeline. And I know one of the people just decided, you know what, this is too much of a headache. Some people like to do private deals, keep it nice and simple.
And you're right. The page before this just shows the fist. So this,
it's still the birth page. It's still no kidding. Yeah. I'm not kidding. Even that I thought should have went for 75 or more. So, but this definitely was a 75 to $100,000 page. But it is what it is. Let's scroll down.
It is. So go stop at the Graham Nolan, the Bane, and we haven't talked on many of the Bane pieces. But this, had I known, I was intrigued by this one. I didn't know where it was going to land. Graham Nolan was the one who is known for drawing Bane. Here you have Sienkiewicz inks, a great fight battle page. I don't know. What do you guys think? 22. Had I known it was going to end there, I may have put my hat in the ring for that one.
I think it went on the low end of fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great image.
I'd love to have had that one. I
like. Day was that on? On the 7th. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
more Jim Lee
again early on. So it seems like maybe Heritage needs to squeeze in an extra signature auction, spread things out.
No. They should have just put the platinum. They should have 1,500 pieces and just have a platinum day and a Sunday.
Right.
Listen, we don't have anything else to do on Sundays. We can spend 12 hours on Sunday.
As long as it's not football season.
Yeah, football season.
Especially if it's football season. So
some good deals there.
All right, let's keep scrolling. The Alex Ross went for the right price.
Yeah, 22 on that. Yeah.
I like the Kelly. That was a take on the Famous Funnies 214 Mars cover. If I went for a Kelly, it'd be one of these, but
that's
great. That's a good price.
Yeah.
75. Wow. That'd be the right period to get something from Ken. That's great.
All right. Let's go down a little bit. Mignola. I actually kind of feel that went a little cheap. I felt that went a little cheap.
I did too. I mean, for a cover, full image. You have his non-Hellboy covers in the 12 to 15 range.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought this should have been 25 to 30. I don't think it went a lot cheap, just a little.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep going down.
All right.
Let's keep going down, get to the less expensive stuff for everybody.
Yeah.
That Avengers page was a nice price. That was a strong price.
Yeah, that's a really nice page.
It's a nice page. It's a quiet page. I thought it was a strong price for what it was. Let's see. What about the Marvel 2-in-1?
Spidey and
that was a pretty strong price.
I think it was I think this is a $25,000 to $30,000 cover. The problem is that Spider-Man and Thing are really small and it's a lot of debris. But it's Hannigan, and Hannigan's on the rise, so I'm surprised this didn't do 25 to 30.
Yeah,
but
I thought it did well, but
the Al Milgrom did about the right price.
I know Hannigan is pretty. He's rising.
Yeah, that's a strong price for the Perez. That's a strong price for the Perez, in my opinion, because it's beautiful characters, well done, but this wasn't. This miniseries wasn't like a well-remembered miniseries.
It's a great-looking cover.
Yeah, I think someone going after a Perez Wonder Woman cover that missed out on the ones that have come to market. About 4 or 5 of them come to market. May have found this one as a good consolation.
But it also, and you guys will laugh, but it has one thing some fans really love, which is
it's the Black Canary.
Yeah, Zatanna
and Fishnet. That's right.
Yes. So amazingly, people still love that. So
I did throw a bid on the Rawhide Kid. I don't know. I just thought it was a great image. But I'm not in the market for this. But I didn't know it'd be a $20,000.
Look, it's John Severin on Rawhide.
Yeah,
it's a Golden Age cover. I put a bid on it too, but I didn't get it.
Yeah, it's a good price.
That seemed really cool. It's big too.
The Daredevil 100, I thought, went high.
Yep. Oh, yeah. You look at
it's his origin. Don't get me wrong. It is part of, it is reflective of his origin, but still.
Well, that's the origin of Mike Murdoch,
right?
Not Matt Murdock. So that's his fictitious brother. So
that is true.
Oh, every day of the week, that's a $5-6 grand cover. Normally,
exactly. Somebody wanted it.
Travis Charest. That was a
same way. Travis Charest. That's a new cover from this year, going for almost 20.
Yeah. Amazing, huh? 22 cover. Yeah.
Did you win the Howard the Duck, Mike?
I did.
Okay. I thought
I had my example already, so
Yeah.
And Dr. Bong is his main.
Dr. Bong, isn't that hilarious?
Yeah. The final Bong.
Yeah.
All right. Let's.
Love me some Howard the Duck there.
I would say I hate to say this, but the Strange Tales went for the right price.
The Warlock,
yeah,
I agree.
Yeah,
the Captain Marvel. I mean, it's amazing. That cover's been around.
That's sat around. Yeah.
Again, that was on my website forever, and I put it in, and I did well with it. So,
what did you have it on your website at?
3,500 or something?
Right around 16, I think. So I made
16.
a little bit around. Yeah, it was about even, but that's okay.
You did well. You did well. It was. Listen, this is honestly. It's a great cover, but not one of the best Captain Marvel covers. Yeah. So you did well.
Matter of fact, I bought the Milgrom one for less, and I like it more. So
the one with him coming out of
40
the tentacles. Yeah, no trade dress though. That's
right. Let's scroll down.
That's true.
Yeah.
That Teen Titans. Oh my God! I cannot believe that.
Yeah, that sold for half value, Nick.
I can't believe that sold for $19,200. I thought that
every single thing you talk about, it went for half value.
That I think should have went for $8 to $10 grand.
Yeah. Really?
That exceeded all my expectations.
I would have said around 8 to 10 too. That bottom image is really terrific. And silly me, I just sold I sold 2 Perez Teen Titan pages over the past 3 months. Far less than this. And I think they're just as good a page. So.
Yeah, no, look, this is Teen Titans 37 and Batman and the Outsiders number 5 crossover, and Aparo drew the crossover in Batman and the Outsiders, and Perez inked a few pages. Mm-hmm. But man, look, obviously there was pent-up demand for this issue.
Well, I think there's some instances where you pay for a panel. And that
panel absolutely
is what you pay for. I mean,
you've got Batman and the Titan Outsiders there. You've got everybody.
You got everything. So congratulations to whoever bought.
Sorry, Mike. I didn't mean to burst your bubble by saying that went for too much.
You know that market. I had
you were excited. We didn't know.
Trust me, if that would have went for 10 grand, I was all over that. Mm-hmm. Okay, Mike Grell, another one that I felt went about just under, like a hair under. It should be like a $20,000 to $22,000.
Golden Age and Silver Age. I won that one.
And I was the underbidder. I actually
Okay.
stopped because of other stuff. You should be happy I stopped because there's other
Yeah,
stuff.
I'm very excited. Yeah.
It's a great cover.
So you bid me up, and I should feel happy.
Well,
Anyway.
listen, dude, you just sold one on
It's
your
all
site for
good.
no, hold on a second. You
What?
just sold one on your site for 20 grand. Why would you buy one for 20 grand?
I like this one
He's a
more.
flipper. Oh,
Okay.
No.
Has a Golden Age Green Lantern on it with the Silver Age.
Yeah,
That
that's
is true.
That's
Well,
cool.
you had the one with his chest with the emblem burning, right? Is that the one
I
you had?
traded that one to our buddy. Yeah.
Oh, okay. You traded that to Will?
Yeah.
FF59 pages have all been doing well, so this is consistent.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right where it should be.
Yeah. I thought the Man of Steel went a bit high. I thought it went a bit high. I thought this was going to be a $6,000 page.
There's
18,
another
that's a strong
burn.
price.
There's another burn Superman page with him coming up at the end that sold for like 9,000. I thought.
Yeah, that was like from issue 1, I think, right?
That was a
Or-
better
You don't see She-Hulk going for that price.
I was just gonna say this is no She-Hulk page.
Well, that's the thing.
Panel
She-Hulk is going for more than Superman.
All right. Well, you get Batman and
Uh,
Superman on this one, so
Sure, but still,
Let Superman bad help it.
maybe
Yeah, page for page.
7,500.
The Hulk will be-
18,
She-Hulk is
wow.
better.
Listen, but the two people who fought for it really wanted it. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
congrats to the one who won.
hey, good night, Mikhail. Thanks for
Good
tuning
night,
in
man.
tonight.
Good night,
Thanks.
Mikhail. Bat tax. Wes said bat tax.
Now I believe in a bat tax. I don't know about an album.
I do. Well, there's some pieces like Lopez's where you have the Superman and Batman, and you can see Batman overselling.
Those went
so.
strong too. Yeah.
All right, let's keep going down. Let's see. Keep going. Keep going. I thought that Peter Parker Spider-Man cover went for the right price. I was interested, but at that point it got to be, I mean, I hate to say it like this, but it got to be retail, and I was like, it's not a great cover. So
I'll tell you what.
I
I'll
know
tell you
who bought
what. In
it.
Comic Connect, a similar, he's frontal but smaller. It went for like 34,000 in Comic Connect, right around the same era, within a couple issues of this.
oh, this
Yeah.
is an ass shot, so you know.
A friend of the CAF community, who I know who's been on the shows, bought this. Very happy with it. You know,
Like I said,
Yeah.
it's at retail. It's at
It was
retail.
cool.
And I think they got a good deal. It's a fair deal. That's the reason why I
Hard to
stopped
find
bidding on it.
80s. That's 80s Spidey, you know.
It is. It is. Just tell me what other
Hard to
issues I've
find
already
80s
appeared
Spidey.
in.
Yeah.
I've never owned anything by Milgram, and I've been dying to pick up a
Hey,
piece. Anything by him. I mean,
I just sold a Alex Saviak Spidey cover for 17. You know.
Oh wow.
So I think
You know what? Real quick, Ruben, you're right. We're not down to the 4-digit range yet, but this is the lowest we've ever gotten. So
Oh yeah, we're
let's
making
take this.
great time.
Let's
We're
take
making
this
good
in
headway
step.
tonight.
The
We got the
crisis.
10 grand once or twice last year. So
The
But that was
crisis.
probably when there was only 400 lots.
I know.
I know the crisis went for, I guess, a little bit more than it should have, but I guess that's the new world order.
Yeah, there's just
Which,
so
by
few
the
of
way,
them out there.
remember, real quick, remember we're doing this to raise money for George Marv, the Ukraine, Jerry Ordway, Save Whiskers. So just a reminder for everybody. There you go, my cheap
Yay.
plug.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Let's
If I could sign if I could
That-
sign a large art piece, I'm going to demand to have a picture of that woman holding it.
Oh, right.
Walt Simonson X Factor. She's on eBay holding stuff all the time. I'm not kidding. That Walt Simonson was one of the pieces. It was at $6,000. I was like, all right, let me put an 8, and then boom, it popped to like 14.
Yeah.
was like,
I was
boom.
surprised at that price. Wow.
I
Excellent.
still don't have a Simonson. so-
The splash of this went for $15,000 last year.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
It had the Goblin Queen, if I remember correctly.
I've
So,
only ever owned one
Keep
Simonson.
going.
That was from X-Men Teen Titans, and I regret selling it.
oh my God, I could kill you.
I
Keep
know.
going
Well, I could
down.
kill myself over that one. I remember getting it for like $500.
Oh, wow.
500
Wow,
bucks.
still.
I know. Trust me, it pains me to think about that one too. It's beautiful, beautiful work.
All right, let's keep going down.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna cry. Let's see.
And the
what else?
Huberts have gone up, so this strong
Absolutely.
prices.
Yeah,
I was actually going after this the Man of Steel cover. Is that the Man of Steel?
Yeah, so this is a pair. There was one that has all the golden, every
Yeah,
single
there's
Superman, and the
diversity.
other.
Those are pretty cool. They were pretty.
Those
cool.
are cool.
Yeah. I think because of the Death of Superman pages, these went for a little bit more than they normally would have. Although having all the Supermans is really cool.
Yeah, the one with all the Batmans went for like $4,000 higher. So there's
it did. Yeah, I gassed it up earlier.
Yeah, Batman's
all the
higher.
different versions. They were pretty cool covers.
Yeah.
Yep.
And in the notes, you can see whose version is Neil Adams, and this is
the
Kurt Swan's.
The Flash was in February, according to Brian Lake.
Cool.
Okay.
So very recent.
Yeah. So last year, a year ago.
Yeah.
So I thought this went cheap. I thought the Crime Patrol went cheap.
I used to own that one. I sold it for around 8 or 10, but this was years ago.
Yeah.
So it hasn't jumped up that much. Just before the horror genre.
I thought the Black Cat went a little cheap.
Beautiful cover.
Yeah, gorgeous.
Elias 50s is starting to.
I would have thought I didn't go after these because I thought they would be going for more. There was a little bit of like, oh my God, how much is there? The Action Comics, I was going after that. That was cheap the entire time. And then the Romita Jr.
Oh, yeah.
Then it started jumping, yeah.
And then it jumped. So it's maintained its pricing. The Simonson, I was actually surprised. So this has been level with what Romita Jr. full issues have been going for. The Simonson, I thought, went a little cheap. It's Batman, but you know what? I'm a big anniversary guy. So it's Batman 300. I really thought this was going to be a $25,000 page. And I feel like you're getting, because this was, what year was this, Bill? 78. Yeah. 78. So you're only 4 years away from Thor 336 and 337. So this was closer than Simonson's other Thor stuff. I just thought this would go for more. It is Batman. It is a splash. You do have 3 beautiful women behind them. So I just thought
this would have been nice. I should have flagged it as a Simonson, but didn't.
I'm surprised this went for as little as it did. A panel page on Comic Link the other day, I think, broke $4,000 or something. It was like a top 10. Well, it was yesterday, but it was like 2,700 going into the live auction yesterday. So I thought this would go for considerably more.
Yeah, I think this was Vosburg into the alphabet.
I thought it sold strong, actually.
No, it's Vosburg in the Comic Link auction.
Yeah, in Milgram.
I know. But I think because it's also Vosburg, it's end of the night. It was already like 11:40, I think, when it came up. And
all right. All right, let's keep going.
Mike won the Captain Marvel.
Yeah, the Captain Marvel.
Good job.
Congrats, Mike.
Oh, nice, Mike.
That's cool. I like the image.
Yeah. That one went under the radar without any trade dress because it's hard to tell.
Right.
That Tales of Suspense went under the radar. That page.
Yeah. I'll tell you, this is that House of Mystery, but there was a Phantom Stranger also by Neil Adams. 2 covers that went for 15 to 18 grand compared to some of the modern stuff. I mean, you think, wow, that's great value. But you know what? I guess
that's just horror.
Yeah, horror, Neil Adams, but still, wow.
No, that
Phantom Stranger actually has Phantom Stranger
at the beginning, so people don't know where it's going.
John Byrne Iron Fist did.
So this is a good example of an Iron Fist. His first Sabretooth, but no Sabretooth on the page. Right. So it'd be interesting to see what it would carry. And 15,000, 16,000. That's a great price.
And they're not battling.
Remember, before all this first appearance stuff came out, these were really heavily discounted.
Yeah,
5, 6 years These ago. Were like
it wasn't X-Men, it wasn't Fantastic Four, it wasn't Superman.
It was just a Byrne page.
Yeah, listen, Byrne Wolverine pages were cheap. Now they're unbelievably expensive.
Yeah,
I'm talking about the Wolverine series when you follow.
That's right.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. All right, let's keep going. We got to get to under 10 grand to make a few people.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
And I'm being serious. The Fury cover I thought went a little soft. The Sienkiewicz calendar piece went a little soft.
Yeah, I owned it was a Defenders page from that calendar. I think it was by Pollard and Sinnott. I had that for like 12 years, and I would have gone after this one, but there's other ones that are better. and I was, that.
Well, and the
not
funny thing on that Sienkiewicz is that you can tell he's influenced by Brunner there.
correct.
He really was
correct.
going for that feel.
It's
and
a nice,
congratulations to Alberto. That's the Tales of Suspense that he got.
nice.
Yeah.
Oh, very nice.
Oh, Richard.
I got the Secret Wars. That's the only thing I won on Friday. And
Nice
I know
page.
that I
Mhm.
know that a lot of people didn't buy it because of the fading, but all the dark art is inks by Mignola, and you've got the
And
black
Adams.
costume Spidey. I think people discounted this because of the fading, and I'm of two minds about whether or not to see if art would re-ink the light pages.
I wouldn't touch it at all, Nick. I think it's
know,
great. It's one of the few collaborations of Zek, Adams, and Mignola ever, I think, on a page, and you have a splash. You can actually see the different influences on the styles.
Yeah.
I wouldn't touch it. I think it's history.
I don't know, Nick. It depends if you get one of the original creators.
Well, that's what I said. Art. It's the Art Adams.
One of the
stuff
original create 3, I would have no problem with it. I'd rather do that than it fade away.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Art
Or
Adams.
worst case scenario, you have them light box it so it can be an overlay.
So you have an overlay.
Ooh, I like that idea better. Thanks.
Yeah, that's
Mike.
probably even better. That way you keep both pieces.
And this way, I don't even have to ship it out. I just ship out a photocopy in the overlay.
Right. You have them light box it and pay them to light box it. And
Yeah.
then it can
Yeah,
lay,
that's
if
good.
it's on vellum even or something you could lay over.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
That's
Thanks,
a great
Mike.
idea.
Yeah.
I just wouldn't touch the art.
Yeah, that's the only thing I won on Friday.
Again, I hate to say it. Go to that Spawn splash real quick, Bill.
Yeah.
I had that on my website for 7,000, and I said, "Oh, I'll give it to Heritage," and it went for double.
Well,
So,
yeah, you might as well just scrap that website, Mike, and
Yeah,
see, now
exactly.
we're
What's
talking,
that
like,
doing for
okay,
you?
I think I should shut down my website. and
Just
send
do
my
dueling
stuff there.
dealers and Heritage. Right? Interesting example.
Lot less work.
Guardians of the Gambler. So Marvel Comics presents. Here's a splash. That's
Yeah,
a strong price.
I was partially interested in this, but it went higher than I expected.
The cover sold for 19,000 just last year.
Wow, really? That's
Yeah.
You're right. You're right.
That's a great
got
splash.
me. Otherwise, I would have gone for that.
I had a nice panel page of this. I sold for $6,000 on our.
But look at
dealer
the
show.
composition here with all the characters.
But
it's a great 1976. That's
with the Guardians
vintage.
stuff so hot, that's
Yeah, let's keep scrolling down.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful page.
and you had
Only because otherwise
taping inks.
getting a little bit later. I
And
thought that
the
Phantom
Adams.
Stranger went a little cheap.
Oh,
Even though
that's
there's
cheap.
no
at the
Phantom
beginning of the
Stranger.
auction. I think why on that?
What was that?
Well,
Because it was at the beginning of the auction for
Yeah,
but people don't realize that figure on the wall is the Phantom Stranger. So
Right,
you have,
right on the left,
you have
yeah.
a picture of him.
I said you
Yeah,
never
totally.
really get a great shot of him on any covers. That's the thing with him,
Yeah. Well, you're doing the apparel covers. You're really doing the apparel covers.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Steve Hughes has been going
That's
up.
what makes him such a great.
So that Evil Ernie, I was a little surprised. I thought it would go for 10. 15's a little bit of a strong price.
Strong, yeah.
Let's see. The Jurgens, I mean, that's to a degree, I don't know. That almost
What do you think?
feels that almost feels like it should have been a $22,000 to $25,000 page. So I think it's the first appearance issue. So
I actually remember reading this page. It's interesting.
yeah, the Daredevil burn actually. It used to be if you put the same page in the same auction within a year, the price would drop. This has been in Heritage 3 times in the last year plus. Each time it sold for more. The first time it sold for 9, I was the underbidder. Second time it sold for 12, I was the underbidder. This time it sold for 14.4, I was the underbidder. And I just kept saying, how high can I,
So I'll admit something. So I have the splash, the page 1 where he's Daredevil over in New York. And I was tempted to go for pages 2 and 3 to complete the set. But every time this comes up, I'm like, well, if I buy this and I can't get 2.
Then you resell it.
That's right. That's right. No, it's the.
Okay, let's see. Keep going down. The Don Newton, I thought, went cheap. I do think that went cheap, but also it's a Nova Street cover.
Yeah. So look at the Byrne Superman page right there.
Yeah.
Man of Steel. I would have taken this one over the other one that was previously. Look at that final panel, and he's actually saying,
beautiful.
"I'm going to do my job as Superman," or "This is a job for Superman."
Yeah,
That's classic.
that's a great page.
And you get
Mike,
multiple
Mike,
images.
and
of
you are
him.
right. The Byrne Superman pages are jumping back up.
Yeah, that's good.
I've been seeing it, and just from watching auctions and stuff.
So this that Zek one. This is what I used to have. I used to have the Zek Gerard. I sold that at the Society of Illustrators. And somebody who I know who bought it, but he consigned it here. So with that gone, I needed. That's why I went after the others. I needed.
You remember what you sold yours for?
25. I got 25 for it. So
2,500.
well, again, it was a society thing. It was someone had to make a strong offer, and
sure. I had a bunch of stuff there and sold a bunch there too.
I actually think this would have been a $25,000 page if it was in the main auction. They put it at the end of the non-live auction thing where
The
it's
Sunday
robotic.
one. The Sunday.
Yeah,
that
one.
was the one at the end of Sunday, right?
This
Oh,
came in.
right.
This is the
Believe it or
last
not,
lot.
I think I was the underbidder on this.
Oh, I was tempted to buy it back again. I love the piece.
Yeah.
And it's
because again, it's early, right? Yeah,
it's
1980.
and then Gerard with the background and I don't know,
Right.
But I don't need two Zek posters.
Right. Oh, nice piece.
Defenders.
The Defenders piece.
I thought the Defenders sold strong just because it didn't have a whole lot on it.
Yeah, I was surprised too.
Yeah, I agree there.
But let's see, Punisher.
That's a beautiful Art Adams. That went for the right price.
Yeah, those are climbing. Those are all
Oh, boy,
$6,000
all the art
pages.
panel pages
2
are
years
hitting
ago.
5 figures, getting
Yeah,
5-figure range now. And they were always around the 4 or 5 range for a long
exactly.
time. Now
I bought one of them a while ago. I
Yeah,
think.
they're
Yeah,
all
I
hitting
wish
the
I would have
5
bought it
figures
then,
now.
but that's life. The Power Man and Iron Fist. It's a memorable cover. I thought it would go for a little bit higher. I thought it would hit 18.
I know the consigner of that one.
Yeah, he was upset, but that's been shopped a lot.
Yeah.
Man.
And he had it out Calf Live for much
I
higher. A
know.
little bit
I
higher.
remember.
Yep.
Let's keep going.
I thought the Friends things went high. I go, oh man, I'm gonna get this for like 3-4 grand. Went for 13 too.
Scroll down. Let's keep
The
going.
handbook.
But the Kirby story, the travel posters. I liked all those, but
I actually like the travel posters. I'm not.
Because
in the
Amazing
market
how
for it,
many.
but that's really
You
funny.
guys see how many items are in the 13,000 range?
every
Yeah.
page was like a
There's a
pinup.
lot.
Yeah, well, that's 12,000. So that you got to learn how the increments. start
Right.
Oh
changing.
yeah. That's
Yeah.
that's 11,000 to 13,200 exactly.
Correct.
Let's keep going.
I thought the Stuntman would have sold for more.
John, maybe, but the John Romita Punisher War Journal, that's one that jumped. It was like at 1,500.
The
or
DPS. Yeah,
Right underneath it.
that's cool.
The Junior, yeah. The Stuntman should have gone for more. It's a nice.
Yeah, I expected it to go for more.
Yeah, it should have.
I sold it was a better image. I sold the page one splash for 16 grand to a guy.
That freaking Marvel Fanfare 29 splash has been in like 5 different.
That's
auctions.
right. And Comic Link and Heritage but you can't argue. That's a great,
It's a
big.
great image.
It is, and it's finally going for more than it did last time. Before
good
it was
for it.
going for less. I think we could have had it for $7 grand previously.
I think so. But
Well, that one did well then.
It did
That's
do
super.
well. It did do well. Let's see.
Little Art Adams, yeah.
The Newton.
I was trying for that Newton splash.
the great image of that Newton.
It is.
That's a phenomenal.
Black
That's
background.
one of his better splashes,
Woo,
right?
That's sweet.
That's a doozy splash.
Yeah.
That's a good piece.
When Riddled by the Riddler. That one for 12.
I actually went after the RoboCop because I thought it would go around 10,000, 9,000, but someone beat me to it at the end. But at that time, I wasn't too vested in that. But I would, this if they had the trade dress in it, it would have done much.
I'll
better.
say outside of the Dark Horse Frank Miller and Walt Simonson covers, this is the best RoboCop cover.
Yeah, this is great.
Single best
I would love to have gotten this one.
The Web of Spider-Man's, black costume.
Yeah.
Just raising.
Those all sold pretty strong. I mean, people with the black Spidey costumes, yeah.
Yeah. The Strange Tales. I thought this page should have gone for more than the other Strange Tales page, but it still did well.
Does this have Warlock in?
It
It doesn't, does it?
I
No.
don't
So
see
that's
it.
why.
Isn't that Pip the Troll at the top, jumping through the ceiling?
Yeah, but without Warlock, I think.
Yeah, but is this 179 or 180? Now I can't remember. Yeah,
179.
Here's the thing. This is the
Oh, this is
first
Pip.
Pip the Troll.
Yeah. They should have highlighted that. I don't think. They
Yeah.
did. Yeah.
I should have went higher.
So this one I actually had tracked the mighty world of Marvel. It has 2 Doctor Dooms and the rest of the Fantastic
It's a
Four.
nice looking piece.
Great, and that Daredevil is drawn. So I should have bid more of that. I just
I was bidding on this one too, but I didn't. Get
I would have loved that. Would have been great. But,
it's a great. I just said that it has.
and this is 73.
It's a reprint of FF10. You know,
And it has
Starlin.
Daredevil. And it has Daredevil.
Daredevil too,
Oh,
which is
yeah,
drawn.
yeah, he is down there. Yeah, he's miniaturized by Dr. Doom.
That's why it went for so much. The Alan Davis Batman I felt went actually cheap.
I had that on my
that's
site
cool.
forever. Couldn't sell it because people didn't want it because they couldn't figure out what it was to. And I said,
It's a UK publication.
Yeah, but I
What
could
did you
never
have
find
it
a
at?
published image of it.
Would you have it at?
I think I had an 8 to 9. I
Yeah.
think. So it
Oh,
sold
they
for
couldn't
like
know.
90%.
They didn't know he was
So-
kicking the guy. Well, I don't understand.
No, they couldn't tell where it was published. What issue?
Oh,
It was
Right,
published overseas on the UK comic. It was a
Right.
reprint.
Never find a published image.
That Sikowski did okay. That did okay. It was low end of
JLA
fair.
are now starting to hit 5 figures for good interiors. now.
Well, actually, I won a Sikowski page for
That's really
1100
nice
plus juice.
Oh, was it a good one?
It was okay, but you'll see it. We'll get to it. We're gonna
Oh,
get
in
to the
here?
low stuff.
Okay.
We're gonna break 10. I know we're gonna break 10.
yeah, we're doing
Well,
well.
yeah.
Well,
Let's
we're
keep
there.
going.
We're at 10.
Oh, I'm pissed off about that Infinity
Oh,
Gauntlet
no.
page. Second biggest thing I'm pissed off about. So,
Oh, with the
friend of mine
Wolverine.
asked me
Wow.
to stay away from it. He said, "I want to go after that." I said, "Okay." Now, I want to go after that. To me, means I'm willing to go like 12 plus juice. And this is Wolverine closeout, closeout.
You missed it.
Star
This is a
Fox,
good one.
who's going to be in the movie. You got Wanda.
The Watcher. You got the
Spider-Man.
Watcher in there too.
And he was the underbidder. I said, you should have told me what your top bid was.
And that's
I-
what you do. You kind of have. You say, "Do you want it more?"
Yeah,
than
you
me?"
got to discuss those things. I agree.
Yeah.
So,
You know what? I definitely made an ass out of myself because I assumed I could not believe. I'm like, oh my God, this was a $17,000 page. How could you not at least go to 12 plus juice?
I've seen guys get
Probably had
20
something
for
else they were
one
looking at too. That's again, that's
No. Trust me. I talked to him after that because I'm texting with him. Did you get it? He's like, nah, I didn't feel like going that high. I was like, what? I was like, what? So if anybody won it, I will give you a quick profit on it. If you're out there and you want it, I will give you a profit on
Yeah,
it.
there's no make offer button on that one. Sorry,
No.
So, Bill, I won that Nolan Batman Bane of the Demons splash.
Oh, nice.
I know I probably overpaid for it. I haven't seen one of
Nah.
just like this image for a while, but this has Palmer inks, which I love, and the storyline behind this image
It's
is
an awesome
pretty cool.
image.
So, yeah, I just wanted a Bane piece, and
Mhm.
no, I got one.
Bingo.
Marcus, communication gap and brain gap on the other side.
Yeah.
The Nick
So that's-
Cardy, I thought went cheap.
Cardi's cheap. Yeah, I
Yeah.
can't imagine
okay,
when
that's
you'd
one
have
of my
a
disappointments.
$10,000 Cardi cover with Superman and
Yeah, that's
Batman.
cheap.
I had it on that. I had it on my site for 11 or 12. I thought it would do well, but
Yep.
yeah, that one I thought would sell well. That one was disappointing. But the next piece, go to the next piece.
Okay.
I have to confess,
Oh.
Bill, I was going to put that on our dueling dealer show for like 15 to $2,000. I couldn't believe it. It sold for
1,500.
1,500.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
that's what I was
Mike.
going to
Oh, but
use it
these-
on dueling
these
dealers.
sell
I go,
for-
"Well, there's some Jonah Hex collectors out there. I'm sure I could probably do better than $2,000. And
These sell for usually about 3,500.
I was shocked that it went for 10 too.
Yeah. All right, let's go. I'm still. I'm a little salty about the Perez.
Yes, you are.
Let's see. We're almost
I
at
still
below
Kaluta.
10,000. We're
You know,
almost below.
Just real quick, I actually bought the Erie 15 cover. I thought 1968 published cover with a guy and a sexy babe. Erie number 15. I'm a big Pressio ain't or anything, but I'm going like, man, where do you find a Warren painted cover for $10,000?
I got a
for-
few
for
if you
the
want
babe.
some.
And it's titled "The Man Who Collects Dolls."
Oh, there you go. There you go.
I thought that was pretty
Hey,
cool.
want to get you guys' opinion on Frank Quitely? There's
I thought that even though that I thought this would go higher. I thought this would go for 15 to 18.
Yeah, Albert told me, I'm bidding on all the Quietly, don't bid. I said, okay. And then I go, did you win them? He goes, no.
Oh, same thing as my friend with the freaking. Watch my curse words, Nick. What? You're on TV.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, this is a swing and miss on the Star Wars. I love that one. It came up.
Oh,
it came
actually,
up so early on it. Yeah, Nick.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
You got it, Nick?
I did. I looked at it.
Oh wow, good.
I looked at it and said Budiansky, inked by Frank Springer. I'm a big Springer fan from his Captain America and Invaders. And I'm a huge Budiansky fan. And I just said, I don't have any Star Wars. And I think I got this at half price.
That's a great cover.
That's a great image.
You want on it.
Now
it's
an inside front cover. It's an inside front cover.
That still looks just like a cover, though.
On the wall.
But I'm going to see whether or not Marvel's interested in publishing it as a cover. So
there you go. Congratulations, Nick. Great pickup.
So when you're ready for that Submariner cover, we can have that conversation.
Of course, we always have cards.
Look, we made it. We're under 10.
Oh,
I thought the
Strange,
prelim. I didn't have a feel for the prelim. I know that I went up to 6.
Oh yeah, hey, I bought this in Heritage like 2-3 years ago for like $1,200. I said, I bet you it'll go for more after the cover went for like $268, and the prelim. So
the cover went. I thought for $408. I thought.
Oh, did it? The number one. God, I didn't remember. But yeah, after that happened, I said, I'll give it to Heritage. I'm sure somebody will think the prelim is worth more than a couple grand. So
you were right. You were right.
And again, the comp of this is the Brunner prelim to Howard the Duck 1 splash. I think you had that, Burkey, on the cover. Yeah, that was a $4,000, right?
Yeah, I think I sold it for 3 or 4.
Yeah, so that's pretty strong, but.
I think the New Mutants went for about $2,000 under value. I think it's a $12,000 page. So, and I know the person who got it, he got a good deal. So,
this Daredevil, this Sienkiewicz,
prelims look like finished.
What's amazing was this is a prelim, but this was the most watched item in the auction. Like
really,
the last day, it had the most tracked lots, which is I was interested to see how it went.
Robert said half the consignments came from Burkey.
Exactly.
I will say, I won't lie. I actually gave them 74 pieces in the last.
Wow. Barry Windsor is going back up, and now
after that Spidey went for $3.3 million. I said, okay, now it's a seller's market. Boom. The buyer's market, so I'll sell. I'll take that back.
I think I stopped at 7,000 on the Gibbons. 7,000 plus dues.
That would have been nice. I mean, that's a good 2 Batmans.
It is.
Double logo.
I just couldn't feel how much of it was that I'm a huge Brave and the Bold fan and I was overpaying. I think that's a strong price. But it is a memorable issue. It is split Dave Gibbons and Jim Aparo art. But I was just worried that I'd be overpaying, so I just called it a day. I felt like I was overpaying at 7 plus dues. But
again, if you love a piece, you don't have to worry about what happens when you sell.
And you know what? The other thing that I have is I have a really nice. I already have 2 pages from the issue, so I was like, you know what? There's other stuff to go after.
It's good to be Nick when you have a couple pages from the issue in your back pocket.
Who has the Submariner 30 with Captain Marvel?
Yeah.
Who has that fish out of water cover that was sitting on Comic Link for $10,500 in the exchange for like a year, and I never pulled the trigger? I don't know who has that. Somebody smarter than me.
Yeah, that was my. That came from a good guy in the hobby in the chat, so I'll thank him for that.
Nexus went a little higher than I thought.
For an interior, that's a pretty impressive price.
Yeah, I thought it was a $4,000 page.
Yeah.
I'm not I don't know the market, but it seems high.
The Savage Tales, real quick. The John Severin Savage Tales. I thought that was a deal. I thought that.
Oh wow! I didn't realize that was Savage Tales 1. That's a key issue.
That was a deal, and I just blinked. I forgot all about it.
Yeah. So there was a couple of Severin stories in that auction.
I think a lot of people. Well, how late did the auction go on Sunday? Because I gave up.
It stopped at around Eastern Standard Time. It stopped around, I think, 10:30.
Yeah.
It was
That's
late.
a long day.
It
Let's
started at 1. It was a 9.
Yeah, it started at 1.
One.
Yeah.
Yikes. But
All right, let's scroll down.
one of my bummers, one of mine that underperformed, the My Love was mine. It went for below expectations to me.
No.
I had it on my site for 11. So, but
I thought about
That's
the
Buscema.
Buscema inked by Ramita. I thought there'd be some buyers for that.
I thought about the Conan. That's the first Red Sonja.
Yeah, but it's like, is it Lightbox or they had to re-ink it over the photocopies or something?
Yeah, that was the problem. I was just like, I don't know what I'm getting, even though she's on it. So I probably still should have. I agree. I agree, Ruben. Next is getting the respect. There you go, She-Hulk. Strong price.
Yeah,
Third.
Went for more though.
Panel.
Yes, 2 of the soups went for more, but this is just a panel page of her fixing her house.
Doing nothing. Yeah.
She's moving. Come on, Mike. She's moving.
Yeah, she's doing something, I guess.
All right. It's not Superman flying.
So I was intrigued. This Ramita giant size triple action 1 coming up.
Yeah, I think the Donnellys put that in there. They got that from me years ago.
Go back up real quick.
Oh, go ahead, Nick.
Real quick, Bill.
Which one?
I was a little surprised, a little bit more, that the Captain America Centennial issue went for what it did.
High
I
or low?
sold this on our Dueling Dealers show for I think $6,000 last year.
You sold this page?
Yeah, this exactly.
All right, these have been going for more money in the auction, so I thought it would go for a little more.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the interesting John Romita Sr.
Yeah, so the instance I kind of right in my sweet spot, 75. But the only art by Ramita is in that center, but it's on onion skin. So I didn't know whether the durability of that was going to be.
I got this originally from John, and believe the Donnellys made the stats for it.
Well, I know that Lovitz actually has the Daredevil with the owl piece, so I don't know if he went after this, but I stayed away from it in case he was going after it.
But I still think that's a reasonable price because it's a published cover. Part of the cover,
it is.
You know?
Right.
It is.
Right.
Stats or no stats, it is.
Yeah. For a cover.
Let's see. The Neil Adams one cheap. Again, because it was Neil Adams, I was the underbidder. Albert won it. I asked him if he'd sell it to me for a quick profit, and he let's just say that his quick profit was more of what some people would say a year from now profit.
Hey, that's Albert.
And I said, thank you very much, but that's okay.
This is from that drug issue. Memorable scene.
Yeah,
that was a very reasonable price, I thought, on that one.
Oh, that was wholesale. I mean, the price. All kidding aside, the price that Albert quoted me is actually retail price. He did not but I mean,
that's okay. You can tell him it's okay.
And I'll say that this Moon Knight, it looks like a strong price, but great content. And I think I like the fact that it has Moon Knight and that kind of word balloon up there. Mm-hmm. Again, this is carried by the popularity of the TV show.
Joseph Navarre, you can email me privately.
And what I'll say is that he drew this just like Perlin. He totally.
That's true.
Perlin.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, we went under 10. Are we good? Are we close?
Let's go a little further. We're
almost at 2.5. We're almost at the 2.5 hour mark, Mike.
All right, we're going to finish up. We got to go to the last item. We promised Ruben we go to the last item.
The last item.
The last item.
We're going to go to page 10. The lowest
thing is $130.
You want me to jump all the way to page 10?
Well, just scroll through here real quick just to see if there's anything else. There's probably not.
I bought the Spider-Woman one unpublished cover. I thought it was a cool piece.
That was a good deal.
I just think it's cool. I'll get a nice logo for it. Who knows? Somebody that can't afford the original like that.
Right. Send it to Mike Lovitz. Ask him if he can ask Marvel to turn it into a cover.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
So you're the guy for that.
Yeah.
Okay. Send it to
I wish I had money to throw around at things that could increase in value. Just
keep going.
Yeah, Ruben wants to see the cheapest item just to see.
I bought the Al Milgrom cover too. I just thought it looked so good. I don't think Al Milgrom did very few.
The Super Spider-Man,
I just loved the
again
how good it looked.
Undervalued these UK covers.
Oh man, they are.
1976.
But that one in particular, I don't remember Milgrom doing many overseas covers. I just thought that was a great looking cover. I said, man, it just looks too good. I'll put in an extra bid, and I got it. So
All right. So real quick on the hold on, the 266, was that yours, Mike?
what 266?
That
Which one?
right now, the one
Daredevil
Daredevil.
266,
no.
Typhoid.
Yeah, that
I didn't put any of
actually.
these.
Oh, that isn't Typhoid Mary. That's
It's
actually
not, it's not,
another
it's the
lawyer,
devil.
the Satan, I think.
It's
I
it's
have a
the
page in
devil.
the 270s, I think.
Okay. All right, let's keep going. Dave Gibbons. That
Oh,
was,
I actually bought the Gibbons Doctor.
You got a great deal.
That's
That
not
felt
only is
cheap.
that the back cover to #1, but it was actually used as the preview poster preceding the issue. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a cultural
That's
thing.
a good
It's
looking
just
Oh,
piece.
dear.
nice little Gibbons.
I've had some Gibbons interior Doctor Who pages in the past. That's beautiful.
Yeah, which go
That's
for
a
like
great looking
3,000. So
You got
thought
a
that was
great
good.
I don't
deal.
even
I think
remember
that's
that
a $15,000 piece of art.
Yeah.
No,
And I bought the
congratulations.
Ditko, the next piece. I said, I think the Ditko pre-hero market, this stuff
Oh,
is sold
that's
just
great.
because you can't find Spuddies. Just great. Just the
Yeah.
line work and story.
And
I think it's just
space.
great stuff.
Mhm.
The way Buscema Spider-Man Submariner's been going, I thought that would go for more, but it's a good price.
I was the underbidder on it. I should have bid higher. I bought the 7 page. I should have bid higher on the 4.
And you got the split leg scene too.
There you go.
Mhm.
Hildebrandt should really start selling some more.
That was the later strip. Another one. Yeah, 78.
All right, let's
Wanna
I
jump
guess
to the last one.
yeah, let's go to the last one. Let's go to the last page. Let's go
Let's
to
satisfy Ruben's curiosity and our curiosity.
Let's see if we remember these. So
let's do the last 5
There's some
items.
pieces that went for under.
You should
under
go down to up.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's a
Oh
longer.
God,
page.
there's a bunch of my stuff in here. All right. Oh man, I just saw like 5 of mine.
What
The
could
dregs
be
of the
lower?
ox.
Oh, another one.
What was
All
it?
right.
I gave all
There you go.
I can't stand having oversized art. So I had a bunch of oversized art. I said, I'm just giving it to Heritage. I don't want to carry it to a show.
So there you go. Some Hawkeye pages at the tail end of things. Got the lowest one and the third lowest by Michael Walsh.
It's a classic, 9-panel Watchmen-esque storyboard.
Yep. All right. Let's go up.
Molly
Let's go up a
Waldron.
little.
Let's agree with
Waldron.
that. Lou Harrison. Okay. There you go.
That was cheap.
Crazy.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That is
Star
cool.
Wars.
It's a weird looking
Trading card
piece.
art.
Yeah.
And number 5. What do we got here? Sidney Jordan. Jeff
Okay.
Hawk Daily Strip.
Strip.
All right. Let's skip the recreation.
Yeah.
Script the unpublished. Bagley Morbius. All right. Keep
Yeah.
going.
Martian Manhunter, not bad.
Yeah.
Star
You know what?
Fox, Archie, yeah. You've got,
These are weekly auction items, you know.
but they were in this
Probably.
weekend, right?
They were in the.
They were. Which
So I would argue that if you're in this kind of sub
Yeah.
400,
The
you're
Ernie
better
Cohen
off
was
in the
mine.
Sunday.
Yeah.
You're better off in the Sunday where you can get more attention.
The Ernie
Which
Cohen
is-
was
which is
mine
now
for
Wednesday.
28.
I think I passed it.
But Challo Uncanny X-Men.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Pencils.
$252. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, I wouldn't mind having that.
Yeah.
What do we got?
Dinosaur.
Cleveland Cat.
Tomahawk.
That's a cat.
Tomahawk.
That's
Golden
a
Age
cat.
Tomahawk. Oh, it's Silver Age. Okay.
Let's keep going. Scroll up.
Western Gunfire.
But this does sell you. If you have under 500, you can go after pieces,
Absolutely.
you know, there's some good artists,
The
good painted
Val
pieces.
Merrick painting was mine. That's like 3 feet by 4 feet. That Val Merrick painting.
That's very well worthy. I
Yep,
like the
I
Black
just,
Cat.
wanted to get rid of my oversized stuff. There's another one in there. The Beekman was mine too. That was a big oversized piece.
It's like half of these on the back page are Mike's.
I thought the Hillary Barta should have went for a little bit
Oh,
more.
I would have if I needed a plastic man. That's a great.
Yeah,
Sure.
it is.
I love Hillary's work.
The
Yeah.
Chaikin should have went for more.
Where's that? Oh, right here. Yeah.
You don't store them, Robert. You frame them and put them on the wall.
Too big to store. That's right.
Yeah, if you're storing it, then there's no sense buying it. I
The
agree
Jimmy
with you.
Palmiotti unpublished went cheap, I thought.
That is nice. Palmiotti. What did
Yeah.
I did on something Palmiotti. I can't remember.
Nice.
I did bid on one of his pieces.
Let's see.
All right, I think
Keep
I think
going. You
I think
got
we
those
covered a
on.
lot.
We did.
Yeah, we covered at least
We covered a
250
ton. We covered hundreds.
lots.
We definitely covered probably at least 100 pieces.
Isn't there 200 pages per page? I think, Bill. Right?
Right. Well, I think doing this format was better. In the past,
Yeah.
I'd always click on the lot,
Right.
look
No,
at the
this
art,
is better.
and just going this way and
It goes
highlighting it
quicker.
just enough to show the image for everybody. I think sped everything
Thanks,
up.
Adam.
This is
Warlock.
definitely
For cheap.
a better way to go going forward.
Agreed.
We'll just have to ask Albert not to drink before the show starts next time.
Oh, that
got
made
it,
it so
Albert.
much better.
Right.
I said I was waiting for the 4-letter words. If he kept
So maybe we should all share one kind of observations or lesson for the road.
Sure,
what we learned from the auction.
You
I'll
first,
start.
Yeah.
There is. I used to think that there's some correlation between what the price is before the live auction. I used to kind of chart them and decide which ones to go after. This one showed there is no relationship. There's some that went up 20% in the live auction, others that were 10, 15 times in the end of the live auction. So that was my takeaway. Obviously, we've talked about pricing and the quality and the number of lots, but for me, because of the nature of these auctions where people don't necessarily have to show their cards by bidding early.
Mm-hmm.
That live auction becomes the
correct
frenzied setting, and it can get people to bid, much higher than they
no matter
initially
what
thought.
the air the day before.
It
only
doesn't.
live.
So I think my advice is know which pieces you're going after, but then you set your own range on where you want to go, and if it passes it, you gotta. If you want to be disciplined, let it go. But you can't judge it on the before pre-live is at 5K. I bet I can get it for 8 because that 5K could easily be 35 or 50 by the time you're over. So that's one thing I learned.
Well, and a lot of people are waiting. I mean, I think we've looking at you watch the dueling dealers now, right? We sell more things in the recap. I think people are just getting a little bit more savvy. They're following the Ruben's principle of sniping, waiting till later because they know they're going to pay an arm and a leg no matter what. But why show your cards early?
And with 900 lots, you can't do all your bids in the beginning. Or else
there's got to be something.
So you gotta. It's encouraging people to wait.
Think about that. That's actually a really good point because in an auction like this, there could be 20 pieces that you'd love to go after, but you've really got to pace yourself and really you have to whittle it down because typically, say the prior signature auction, maybe there's only 12.
Correct.
Makes your decision making a lot easier. But when there's 20, there's a lot of apprehension from you because you've got another piece coming up later that day, to the next day.
Look at what Ruben wrote because it's true.
It's funny. The only time the pre-live prices affect us is when we're consigning and the price is very low.
That's so true, Ruben.
But you know what I mean? I think
from a man from experience.
That's a really tough thing because when you're going into these, I'm sure most of you, and I didn't really follow too many of the lots where I was watching them, but I bet you guys were watching more lots than you've ever kind of put in your watch list before. And that's gotta cause some problems in your thought process about how high you're willing to go on an early.
I think I had to tier mine. I had a big list of watches, but I starred ones which are kind of these are the ones that I really want to save for.
Absolutely. I mean, look, the Green Lantern 85. I really thought that was going to go for 12 to 15. It's the drug issue. It's the big issue, and it barely popped. And I'm sitting there like, but then even with it barely popping, I was just like, you know what? There's other stuff I want to go after. I can't chase this because otherwise, I will say Joe and Nadia said something that I think works well if you can. If you need, like I was thinking with the Cap 255 and some of the other pieces I wanted, what do I need to consign to pay for it? Because if I would have gotten a good amount of what I would have had there. So the one thing I will recommend everybody to do is if you're going after something pricey that you really want, find out what they'll give you as an advance as a consignment.
Smart.
Before the auction. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, that way we get 1,200 lots next auction.
But you know your dry powder.
Yes,
right?
everybody, please consign for the June auction. There's already 12 Todd McFarlane Spider-Man pages. We need there to be more Todd McFarlane Spider-Man pages. I need to finally get one. So please, if you have Todd McFarlane Spider-Man, you can either email me at nick.barrucci@dynamite.com or just put them in Heritage. Oh, and by the way, if you got the Infinity Gauntlet page by George Perez, or if you got the Cap
Call
255 page one, Nick.Barrucci@dynamite.com.
Any last thoughts from you, Mike, before we call it a night?
No, just the market's jumped.
Yeah.
I mean, again,
it'll be
now we're
curious to see
talking. Oh, just real quick, I mean, probably 15 relatively high-end pieces that I had on my website for like years, all sold for more at auction. I'm going like, geez. So
But you also said it. So, Mike, did the Spider-Man splash with the Hulk on it by Bagley? Did you put it in, or did you sell it in
that was
somebody
mine.
else? Yeah, and
that sold lower. What did it sell for? Like 5?
5 plus juice. It sold for 6.
Yeah, I had on my site for I think 7 or 75.
Yeah,
so.
I think you had it for 8,500.
Did I? Okay.
Yeah,
but I would have come down if for somebody asked. So.
Yeah, so
I thought that would sell for more, but it didn't.
Right. I mean, the thing is, and you're saying it, you evened out ahead.
Oh,
you
way
ahead. Yes. But look at what got you ahead. The big items. Some of the other items that didn't sell on your site, you made less money on. The Spider-Man, the Cardi. So
and looking back in history, when we look at the other auctions and we go, wow, I can't believe someone paid this much for a great piece, but I can't believe they paid, over time, those are the trades that actually have been rewarded.
Well, just
because
like
the acceleration of quality items.
Just like an example, before the $3.3 million sale, week before was a Comic Link. And I bought the McFarlane Spidey cover for $130,000. I remember I go, you know what? Somebody told me they got offered $250 for a splash. I go, I should probably buy this cover. And I bought it. I'm thinking like, what an idiot I was. And right after, I'm getting like, oh, you want to make a profit? I go, nah, I'll hold on to it for now. I'm okay.
Bill, can we pay you to send an emailer out to everybody on CAF encouraging them to consign their lots to the next Heritage? Especially if you have McFarlane, Spider-Man, or Perez, or Byrne Captain America 255 pages.
You're a McFarlane Spidey fan now, Nick?
No, I just want one. I want a page.
One. That's all I want.
I'm just happy I got my example for the lot.
I just want one page. But I will say, now this will show where I'm going to be a little bit of a snob, for lack of a better way of saying it. I want it from the end of his Amazing run or from his adjectiveless run.
Are you kidding me?
That's when he started getting more into the horror.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's where
his style, right, until like to me, like close to 320. Yeah,
320, exactly.
Right, early on, his style is more. I hate that Spidey's head. I always said was more egg shaped.
Yeah,
and he really started protruding the jaw and the eyes as he got later.
Yeah, and then Larson took it to the next. Yeah, I mean, because when you look at 314 or 316, the Green Goblin cover, it's very, very animated, not as serious.
That's when it starts getting right.
But right after that,
and more crazy. I agree.
I'll just settle for a lot of webbing and a lot of kick-ass action.
Great image.
Me too. If I could
look at what Mike Callahan wrote. I'm not picky, but
exactly.
I said I'm going to show myself being. I mean, look, if I'm going to spend that kind of
money, I agree. At this level, you got to pick what you want.
Yeah.
And if you find it,
Nick wants McFarlane, Spider-Man with Subby and Daredevil on it.
It's not going to happen. I'll take McFarlane. I'll take McFarlane Spider-Man with Wolverine on it instead.
Yeah.
Well, great.
Hey, and I know a couple people are asking for pep talks from me. I'll give one on Friday. How's that? When my CAF update is this week. So just
we have a dueling dealers. Everything's under 1,000, so you can everybody's that missed
there
out.
You go. That's a pre-pep talk.
Yeah, and I'll say one thing. I'll say everyone should be happy that this hobby is healthy. These prices, are phenomenal. But again, the underpinning of that, you could see so many lots that we just talked about today. We actually thought could have done higher if it were a smaller auction or done privately. So what that tells me is that these prices, while high, it shows that the strength of the hobby and the value of everyone's portfolio, what they have at home, continues to increase. So
I always say, just always be thankful for what you got when you see crazy prices.
Well, be always that's the way I was with the Cap 255. I had my limit. And I have pages, so you just call it a day. I'll give a pep talk. Mike said it in a way Go to Ramina Man, go to Albert's site, go to Bashara's site. You can find stuff at prices that you can afford. You can look through it, pick the art that you like.
Sometimes,
And
I mean,
and
I
make
still
it
have lots
look
of stuff I priced. I have some stuff I priced in 2008, and I still have the same price on it.
and,
People will say, "Well, it was overpriced back then."
and dueling dealers every Wednesday.
Still good
You know,
deals.
You've
every week.
got a range of art, so you know where you're going to start. So those are good places to start.
So they're fun, and I think sometimes they're cheaper than auction.
And Bill's doing it
We had
on
a good
Friday,
amateur show last
Ruben, because Thursday is the interview with Steve Morgan that everybody should tune into.
Yeah,
that's very true. Yeah, I haven't talked to Steve in a very long time, and Thursday was the only day he was free. So I was like, well, if that's all you can do, then I'm going to do it, because I literally don't feel I've talked to Steve in 6 years. So, and Steve's a good friend, so I'm looking forward to that. So Friday for the CAF update. I'll give a pep talk, though, I promise.
Mike, just grab 2 pieces of art and smile between them. That's the best way to close
And
this.
we can sign off this evening.
And I would love if anyone has the cover of Sergeant Fury Commandos number 38 that says this one's for Dino. I would love the cover art for that. I know some of the pages are coming in the auction soon, but I'd love the cover.
Have you put in have you put that in as a search on your CAF
no,
page?
I haven't. I don't
you
think
should.
it exists, but
you should.
Anyone
you should put it there. You never know.
Yeah, you never know. But that would be cool.
Huh. So that's always the tragedy, right? On older pieces like that, where it's just never even been on the market.
I don't think it exists. I actually don't think it's out.
Yeah. Well,
we'll see.
But you never know. I mean, Kirk put on CAF that he was looking for the cover to Defenders 32, and he put on there that it was his one of his grails, and I happen to have it. So, that was when he put it up there. I was like, okay, this is a grail. I try and take care of people who are honest about grails.
Yeah, Nick goes into his warehouse, which kind of like they parroted it on the Raiders Lost Ark, where he kind of goes back there, and he'll say, do I have that?
Wow, Nick has to go through his files to find grails.
Mm-hmm. All right, guys. Well, I think we should call it a night.
No.
Mike's got work to do. He's got to get me his dueling dealers.
I got to get my list ready for tomorrow. It's going to take me all night.
Yeah. Mike's been a pleasure.
No experience.
Dino, nice having you on, buddy.
Good to see you. Good to see you. Good luck tomorrow.
A lot of fun. We'd have you back whenever we need a filler. That's for sure.
Happy to step in.
Oh no, I would take Dino over Nick. I would take Dino over Albert any day.
Yeah. Special guest. Listen, actually, it was fun with the 5 of us. So
we went through a lot. It was good, pretty efficient.
It was a lot of fun.
It was.
All right.
All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.
Good night. See everybody.
We'll